We are rolling.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Creative Businessmen. Today we have Rene Luna on with us. He's a stand-up comedian. And what's up, man?
What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This is an amazing setup. I'm seriously honored to be here. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm here.
Thanks, man. We're happy to have you here.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Just tell everyone a little about yourself. Now, your real name or your whole name is pretty long, right?
Yeah, whole name is Oscar Rene Luna. Oral, for short. Which is not accurate. I'm not good at it. I don't give any. I go by Rene Luna, unless I'm like, at a job or anything. Some people will call me Oscar. If you call me Oscar, I don't care about you. I want you to know that. I don't know. A lot of people call me Oscar.
That's
I have no
your
idea.
name.
Yeah, no, I don't go by that. If you call me Rene, we're cool.
Awesome.
Rene Luna.
Well, you're funny, man. I saw you do some, seen some of your stand-up lately.
Thank you, man. Thank
really
you.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I like your stuff too. And I'm glad there's new faces at the scene, especially during like COVID and the pandemic. It was really good to see like people still grinding.
Yeah.
Going at it.
Well, it's good for me because I'm brand new at it. I've only been doing it for a year, and so it was kind of just good practice for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And have you ever?
I've been an audience member. I think that's about like my claim to fame.
Hell yeah.
You know those guys?
You look like a good laugh.
I am. You know
He's
those?
a
Yeah,
funny
I'm a
dude.
good laugh. But if you know those guys that think they're funny,
I think so.
that's me. I think I'm funny, right? So I'm glutting for punishment.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
If I had that confidence, I wouldn't give a fuck if I was funny. Bro, I'm here. What y'all want?
As long as I'm laughing, fuck everybody in the audience. As long as I'm laughing, that's what it's about.
Oh my God, you're already like a level 17 comic right there.
But yeah, I told the guys in Idiot Box, and I've talked to him. I do want to get up and do something, but I don't want to just get up and go off the cuff, which is what I was thinking about doing.
Yeah.
I think what I want to do is sit down with him a little bit and kind of just at least have some type of methodical process to go through.
Yeah.
Because I got some funny shit, but I just got to. Well, I think it's funny.
You got to figure out how to write it.
I got to figure out how to write it.
Yeah.
But I do want to get up there and try it because I'm watching him do it and hearing other people. We've had some comedians on, obviously you being on, and it just makes me. There's some inner thing that I think I'm funny, and I want to kind of get up there and kick myself in the ass kind of deal. I don't know.
Gotcha. No, I mean, no matter what you do, it's probably going to be bad.
Yeah.
If not,
it's going to be bad.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong. Oh my God, I hope you crush.
No,
That's how you know you're going to be good. Brian
I'm going to tank it.
Who the fuck was it? Who the fuck accidentally crushed? He wasn't even trying. Tom Segura. Tom Segura said when he first went up, his friend, I think he was going because his friend wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And then he just signed up anyways, and his friend made it was age shit. But it was his dream to do comedy. Segura crushed. He wasn't even trying. He was like, I just talked about how bad you were, and now I'm a millionaire.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I just need to. There was a guy there. His name was Rooster. If you watch this, Rooster. this fucking dude.
Were you at the open mic? It was probably 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, listen, Rooster.
There's a big crowd there.
Rooster crashed and burned. It was actually a beautiful night. The fact that he crashed and burned, I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. And then, so he said he had a name he wanted to go by, and it was different than the previous name. And he said it out loud. She says, "What is that?" Jenny Sensel says, "What is it?" He goes, "Rooster." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" I should have known just by that. And then he gets up, he crashes and burns. After he leaves, he decides he's going to turn left out of Jenny's, out of the Idiot Box, and then left again into a one-way road and drives down, and I hear horns honking. I'm like, this guy. So when I did the tag on Instagram the next night, I shouted out everybody. And I put a rooster on there because I didn't have his stuff, so I just put a rooster. I thought it was hilarious.
Damn.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed
you
that.
asked me that night. You're like, should I go up and try to do just wing it? I was like, I wouldn't, man. Would not just try to wing it.
I mean, honestly, as bad as he did, I probably would have been okay. I couldn't have done worse than that. I don't think.
Dude,
yeah. I don't know. But I don't know exactly what he was doing, but
it's writing.
Yeah.
And some.
But
people
then again, maybe
have
that's what you're
different
supposed to do
forms
to get up and figure it out. At least he was brave enough to get up there and do it.
Yeah, some guys like Eric Trundy, he still writes stuff down, but he writes ideas and he riffs on those ideas. But he's just really good, though.
Yeah. And that's like a big split in comics. It's like there's those ones that just they don't write. They're like rappers who don't
write stuff down. But
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just like Chappelle. Like he's just kind of like he's Jay-Z, you know what I mean? Like I don't write anything. I just kind of go up and do it.
Crazy.
And then there's those like oh damn, what's his name? He did the 3 mics. Neil Brennan.
Yeah.
An amazing goddamn writer.
I'm a writer, so I have to write it down.
Me too. I appreciate like really sitting down, like trying to cut the fat,
Yeah.
and shit. But also, I am jealous of comics like Trundy or JD JD
yeah,
writes sometimes too, but when he goes up and like just does off the cuff stuff, or especially if somebody before just like bombed or did some crazy shit, it's such an amazing skill to just be in the moment, hilarious in a way that like it's something that would take me a long time to write. And not only that, it's a throwaway. He's like, I'm never doing this joke again, but right now it's fire.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's an amazing skill.
It was Eric that did that night, right? Eric started. Was it Eric?
Yeah, he
just started and he fed off the crowd. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, but
he just started rolling.
But he's worked on some of that stuff too. Though.
But
I mean, it's a lot of it's new stuff too. But it's,
I don't know, for me, seeing it the first time, I was rolling, and she, Jenny was lighting him, and he's like, fuck, I'll get, and he just kept on for like another 3 minutes. It was awesome.
But he thinks, he almost thinks that way though. Like it's how he just. Some people can naturally speak that way. Yeah. I can barely speak English, so I have to write it down first.
Yeah.
I grew up in the South in a small town, so we real thoughtful and conscientious about what you're saying and how you say it and all this bullshit. So I have to.
No, that's not trendy.
That's
not
trendy.
No.
Yeah, he's from Boston. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's definitely Boston in that accent.
Yeah.
Up north somewhere. But yeah, I want to try it. I do, and I think I will no matter what. I think I just need to have. I don't want him to write it for me, but if he can like be my trampoline. How you have a net around the trampoline?
Yeah.
I want him to be that.
Hell yeah.
I just don't want to fall off the trampoline. Like I'll fuck up all on the trampoline. That's fine. I just don't want to fall off.
I feel you. So and the 80 bucks is a great spot to be a first timer.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna lie and tell you you're not bad, but they'll do it in like the most kind type of way and get you to come back.
Yeah.
They'll just stare at you for 5 minutes. Yeah.
When Jenny said that was Rooster, like afterwards, give it up for Rooster, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, have you had Jenny on?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. Because I was gonna say she's like an amazing individual. She's our Misty, but
actually
better,
one of her
she's
clips
still
has
alive.
the most views on our channel.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Oh, she's fucking great, dude. She can freestyle rap. Did y'all go over that?
We should have had her do that.
Oh my god,
that's what we should have done. Like as her intro,
make her come out of retirement.
Like a 90-second intro rap to.
Yeah, because she teaches improv. She's really good. So.
Yeah.
That's next time.
Super sweet. I was super intimidated by Jenny when I first started doing comedy because y'all probably weren't around. I mean, y'all were around, but probably didn't know about the comedy to know Laughing Gas in Winston-Salem.
I've
heard of
familiar,
it.
Yeah.
God, yeah. I mean, it's gone, so we're fine now. It's gone forever, never coming back. It was it was a cute club, but like, it was ran so weird. It was next to a country club called Johnny and June's, and the owner.
That's why I remember it.
Oh yeah.
I've heard of that too,
that's why I remember it. Yeah, I've went there before.
They do concerts there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the owner, he thought it'd be a good idea. Like, all right, we'll get people to come to the open mic as an audience member if we promise them like a free ticket to Johnny and June's. So you get someone of an audience that don't give a fuck. They're just like, come on, I got country all-star. I don't know what the fuck country music. I got music. To listen
they were
to.
going over there to get drunk. They weren't. I mean, the music was a byproduct of that, but those people going to Johnny and June's were getting drunk.
Yeah. It was a lot of white girls in cowboy hats listening to hip hop, which was very off-putting.
Yeah,
it's very weird.
That's exactly.
But it was
exactly what it was.
But it was a wild ass fucking club. The one thing I didn't like about it was every now and then he would round up the open micers and like lecture them about how like y'all not bringing people in. I'm like, dude, it's Winston-Salem. Yeah. It's like Wednesday, bro.
It sounds like he just copied the Comedy Zone's business model.
Yeah,
it's like a step down from that.
Yeah, he tried to.
Oh yeah, but like I started doing it there, and like the Winston comics would go there, and a lot of the other comics they would go to the Idiot Box, and the Idiot Box at that time sort of had like the stamp of being the hard room. It was no bullshit, dude. The first time you go up in the Idiot Box, it's like a no name. Unless you got heat, you're gonna bomb. You know what I mean? Like now, like once they know you can get away with a little bit because they know you and they'll laugh at you because like, oh, that's funny because it's coming from him.
Yeah.
But if they don't know you, they were brutally fucking honest.
Oh man.
The club was like in downtown Greensboro, really cool spot, and just such a great room to just bomb in.
But the first time I went to the Idiot Box was at the current location.
Yeah.
And it was probably a little over a year ago, probably a year and a half ago, and I didn't realize there was that big of a comedy community in Greensboro.
Right.
And there were 30. I was like number 31 on the list. And I was like,
that was a good night.
This is a big group of people, and I definitely ate shit that night. But I think I got a laugh or two maybe. But it was a good experience. But I was like, this place is for real. Like it's not a joke.
Oh yeah, when it's like, when it's summer. I remember there was the last comedy festival I did that Jenny threw. man, it was summer. Like there was spots happening all over downtown Greensboro. It was happening, and it was crazy to like get that feeling from Greensboro comedy scene.
Yeah.
And also just the talent. Like I remember when I started comedy, my favorite comics were like Bill Burr, Louis C.K. shit like that. Yeah. But then seeing the talent, like some of the comics that I hope you and everybody gets to see again. Maybe not. Some of the comics that started doing comedy or that were already doing comedy when I started in the scene. Just amazing, you know what I mean? Like one dude that comes to mind, I don't even know what the fuck his real name was. He kept giving everybody, he was so shady, bro. We think he worked for the CIA. I swear to God. We call him Mert because that was his name on Facebook. He had a fake name on Facebook called Mert McPartland, something like that. That's so funny. We called him Mert. Fucking funny ass dude. That just I was so blown away by how talented the scene was. Now when people ask me like my favorite comics, I'm like, of the ones because I really want to say like motherfucker like JD and Trinity, like those dudes are amazing. Some really of the hardest. I can't remember the joke, and I wouldn't do it because it's JD's. But there was one joke JD did one time at the old Idiot Box. It was over at Geeksboro. I was laughing so hard for a second. I went into a panic mode because I couldn't breathe. Like I was forcing air back into my lungs, and they wouldn't go in. For a second, I was like, "You need to calm down. You need to settle down right now, Rene." It's just an amazing talent pool that we got.
Yeah, I think Eric told me a lot of the comics, a big group of them moved up north, right?
Yeah, Chicago and New York. And it was great to see. Every now and then you'll see other comics in that area kind of notice that there was a group from North Carolina. Now like I remember one of my friends, I think Deha, shared a tweet that somebody sent where it was like, I'm tired of all these funny NC comics in the scene, like a New York comic shit like that. Yeah. So that's a really cool thing to be a part of.
Did you move up there too, or?
Yeah, moved up there with Alex and Dehaj. Yeah. I really hope you can have Dehaj on too. He's we'll
definitely get him on. Yeah.
Oh, he's a great hang. One of the funniest, just natural dudes to be around. I moved up there with them. I think it was like 2019, like late 2019 when we moved up there.
Okay,
so it's pretty cool experience.
Now, did you move back here because of the pandemic, or?
Pandemic and spoiler alert, cancer.
Yeah.
Came down here for the cancer. And I mean the pandemic didn't help because the city was shut down. Before the pandemic, I don't know if anybody's described like open mics in New York, but it's nonstop every night. It starts. I think it starts at like 12 in the afternoon to like 11 o'clock at night. Just mic.
Awesome.
And there's the popular website is freemics.com, something like that. And they do mics for big cities like Denver, LA, New York. You go on there, you see what's happening every week. How to get on, how to sign up. And essentially what a lot of people do is like as soon as they get out of work, they start, going to all the spots, going to the bars. Nothing but open mic comics. Okay? You're not the only way, unless you start to actually like make a name for yourself in New York, the only way you're going to get in front of an audience is to pay. Like there are certain shows. Broadway Comedy Club, I can't remember the name of it, does something like that where you have to pay, either bring 3 people, which is 2 drink minimum and $20, so it's a lot of money, or you pay for that. But you get to go up in front of a real fucking New York crowd.
That's cool, though.
And you get a tape from it. Yeah, it's really cool. But unless you're doing that, all the mics, it's just nothing but comics who leave as soon as you go up. They don't even pretend to give a fuck, man. Bro. Yeah. They don't even pretend. And a lot like it's bucket. Almost all the mics are buckets, so you just write your name in, you go in the bucket, and then they pull it out. But, I mean, it's run by comics who are, despicable human beings. So they're going to, like, pick out friends, like, hey, man, I'm trying to make this mic. I'm trying to go see this girl. So, like, pick their name out. And if you don't know nobody or got no connections, you're going to go last. But it's cool. It was fun to, like, start paying your dues and really realize when we got up there that, like, oh, we're not funny. We were doing it for, like, 3 years. We, for some reason, had a name for ourselves here in the comedy scene. But when we got up there, it's like, oh, we're trash. We're not funny, which you need.
Starting over, yeah.
Yeah. You think you can keep yourself humble, but then you really get like a face of reality, and that's when you really got to swallow your pride and be like, okay, I need to be a better writer.
Did you get to do any live performances up there though with crowds?
I did a couple. I got lucky to get in a couple. Dehaj and Alex got in a few too. It sucks because it was just starting to happen. At least for Dehaj and Alex, they were really making a name for themselves up there.
What's Alex's last name?
Alex Garrison. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He's another really, really funny comic. He won UCC. I don't know if you guys have talked about it, that competition that Jenny does.
I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah. He won that, and we used to do rap battles.
Who's the other guy that's here in town now that had moved up there?
Dehaj.
No, the other guy. Really young dude, young white guy. He's like 20 probably. 23.
That might be Alex. That might be the one we're talking about. I'm not sure.
Maybe. What I thought he had a different last name though. He was at one of the open mics 2 weeks ago, I believe. I think he may have been in Chicago or something.
Oh, might be Nick Cartwright. That might be who you're thinking of.
No,
not Nick.
Or Boston or something. I don't know. He's funny though. He was really funny too.
Yeah. No, it'll definitely. If you gotta either love comedy or get good at it up there to keep doing it, because it'll beat it. It'll beat it into you.
Yeah. Yeah, up there, I guess it's probably just a consistency game too, right?
Yeah.
You gotta last.
Yeah. Oh, and it was hard to find like time to write. If you're a writer, because like when we first started doing, we got up there because we were just so overwhelmed by mics. We just started going out, but we don't have that prep time that you do when you're doing comedy here.
Yeah.
Because like even if you're trying to do multiple mics a night here, you're driving to a lot of them, so that gives you time to like really think, kind of like edit shit.
Yeah.
Over there, you got no time to think because even in the metro, you got chickens on your face, so you can't concentrate.
Yeah.
So I was just going up, not writing, not really prepping, and it was a lot of like and what else, and like how did this go, type of shit.
Seems like it'd be good though, like you'd get better throughout the night.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have that type of brain. Dayhaj definitely did. Like
that's kind of how it worked.
Yeah. Sort of off the cuff type, like I'll just make it work in the moment. I really need time to like hammer out the fucking.
Well, I need that, but I think if I could. I wish we had a few stacked mics here because I feel like you're going to get better at each mic you go to. If you're working on a certain piece of material that night, you could do it at the first one and then kind of polish it off there and then get better as you.
Oh yeah, that was great. And there was a point in time I remember I was getting no fucking sleep where you would start at Monday and go to Thursday, and it would be a Monday mic at Monstercade. Tuesday would be, I think, Laughing Gas. Wednesday would be Gatsby's, and then Thursday was always the Idiot Box. And by Thursday, I was in the back of the Idiot Box, like sleeping before I went out because I was so fucking tired. Yeah. And it was like that for a good month and a half. And I remember when I first started, I don't think I'm that good at comedy.
Oh, you're good, man.
I'm okay. Yeah. I could definitely be better and more consistent. But I remember when I started, I was fucking trash. Okay, I was bad. People wanted me to quit. I was just. It was pride. It wasn't even the love for the game. It was pride at that point. I was like, fuck you, I'm staying just to annoy y'all. I was bad at it because I wasn't trying. I would do one mic like every 2 weeks. I would come out, hang out with the comics. My head wasn't really in it. But Alex and Dayhaj started doing it. So I was doing it before them. I think I might have had a year on them. And when they started doing it, I remember I saw both their first sets, and it was outstanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was nothing as funny as they are now, but it was like, for it to be their first time, everybody in the crowd took notice.
Right.
I remember Alex walking off, and the people in the back of the bar, they were like, oh my God, what's his name? Like, that dude was good. So I made friends with them because they were like cool, and they were really easy to talk to. And then I would talk to them on and off at mics. I remember I saw them like a month or 2 months later, and they were so good, they were already better than me. And I know it was objectively better than me. Like I felt it in that moment. And it was another one of those reality checks of like, all right, motherfucker, you ain't shit. So I knew that in order for me to get to that level, I had to be just consistent about comedy and writing. So I just forced my way into their group because it was just those two driving the mics. So I was like, hey, what's up, guys? Can I join you? And they were cool. So they said, yeah. I started doing mics with them. And just because I got so tired of on the drives after the mics, them cheering me up about my bomb. I got so sick of them being like, bro, remember that? I mean, you remembered the bit. You remember that? You remember how you got it right this time? Like, I got so tired of them just babying me feel okay. I just got better.
That's what makes you better, though, is being self-aware, that introspection, always beating yourself up about your work. I mean, you're the same way in business. I am, too. Like, I'm never satisfied with my work or what I do.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the only advice that I would give to like people that were thinking about doing comedy now, aside from just maybe wear masks. Maybe that advice number one. And the other one is just don't do it alone, because it's hard to keep yourself accountable.
Yeah.
If you really want to do it, if you're doing it by yourself, but if you're doing it with a friend and you know that he's trying hard too, it's going to put it into you to go.
I have the same advice about sex.
Don't do it alone.
And you might want to wear a mask, maybe.
Oh, bro, have you told him? Did you? No, tell him about that. I think I talked about it, right? On
which part?
On mine.
What happened?
What is it?
The whole V card thing.
Are you a virgin?
bro.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did you mentioned that.
I could have not said nothing, and we would came up. Okay,
I didn't think about that.
Did I mess it up?
No, you good. Oh. It's just a fun fucking. It's just a dumb fact about me. Yeah.
Is that real?
It is, bro.
Okay.
It's fucking. And some people, I guess it is a lot to take in. Like, hold up, you're a giant Mexican, you got cancer, and you're a virgin. Like, this sounds like 2 truths and a lie type shit. But no, yeah. Still got the fucking V card. 27.
Do you want to have it though?
No.
Is it by design at this point? Like, are you like looking for forever, or are you just? Because I think we can help solve this pretty quickly.
No. I think that's why I like your confidence so much, because I never had that. Like, I was a fat kid in school, so it wasn't happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
In high school, I had a crooked mohawk. All right, because I would gel it up, but I wouldn't use a mirror, so it'd be like at an angle. You know what I mean? I'd have a crooked mohawk. Those CCS hoodies, you know, those skater hoodies that was like lime green and black, right?
Yeah.
And then like jeans that were too tight, so I had a muffin top and I wasn't getting any girls, but I had the most confidence, dude. Oh my God! Like, high school Rene was way more confident than he should have been. Like, he would beat my ass now. You know what I mean? So it wasn't happening in high school. And then after when I graduated, I just started like working, you know, like at a factory, and then just working out because I had nothing else to do and I hated myself. So I just started working out and losing weight and stuff. But I never like took a time to build any confidence. So I was just been super scared of like talking to really anybody, like talking to girls or talking to a lot of people. I'm a wallflower. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, people thought I would be too big to be a wallflower. I proved them wrong.
Man, I think, and I've got a friend that I give this advice to. I think it's probably the same for comedy, but like, it's the law of large numbers, man. Like I don't give a fuck how ugly somebody is.
Yeah.
If you ask enough times, you'll get a yes, right? So like, literally, I mean, it's just a long, long time ago. There was this one girl at the bar, and I was talking to her, right?
Yeah.
And she was basically like blowing me off, and I was like, "Fuck you," then. And I just went immediately to her friend, and I was like, "So," and I asked her the exact same question I asked her, and her friend started talking to me, and the girl was like, "Bitch," and so I thought it was fucking hilarious, but like literally that was my mentality. Was like, all right, fuck you, I'm on to the next one. And I would literally hit on the girl right next to her.
Yeah.
And just, if that one didn't work, go to the next one. Like, if you do that enough, there's enough lonely people out there.
Hell yeah.
Like
you playing the volume game.
Man, you got to play volume, man. Like, literally. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm a big dude, I'm fine, but I'll just fucking outwork everybody. That's fine. You know, there's the guys that walk, Neil would walk in the room and wouldn't say a fucking word. I literally was there. I witnessed this. And not that he acted on it, but he could. Like, he would walk in the room a long time ago, pre his wife.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But he would walk into the room, and girls would literally come up, like this statue of a man, like walking through, you know. And highly intelligent, but you wouldn't know that by looking at him. Not back then, but anyway, and girls would just come up to him.
I did look like a meathead back then. Yeah,
but they would just come up to him, and I was like, what the fuck? You know how hard I got to get to talk to her, like to get that, and they'd come out and like pull on, come dance with me. Like,
I feel you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm on your side.
Yeah, but so he might be able to be that guy. And I was the guy that I just had to talk to 100 of them. You know, literally, I'd talk to all of them.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of like the attitude you got to have towards life. Like, it's just gonna go bad. I'm gonna deal with it. And
everything's like that, though. Everything you just have to keep doing it.
Well, see, and what happened is over time, I got really good at it because just like going up and bombing at the comedy stage, right? Eventually, if you do it enough times, you bomb enough, you figure out how
to stop bombing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So I've got a friend that I try to give the same advice to. I get him on. I've put him on in the last 6 months. I put him on a dozen dates, literally. I lock it down, I set him up, and then I leave it up to him to bomb on the actual date.
Yeah. So, that's a cool ass friend.
Yeah, I try to be. That's what I was saying, man. I'm a great wingman. I can help you if you want. We'll talk. You just got to tell me what you're into.
Yeah. I'm good for now.
Fair enough. Well, you let me know if that changes.
Yeah. I do like because I've been on dates before, but they all just end up turning into podcasts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I've never had a bad date, but that's not a good thing. Like I've had like forgettable days. One time, I swear to God, I went to a girl's crib. I don't know what it is about my energy. We end up doing laundry. And it was so natural. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck? How am I doing? I'm so non-threatening. I'm folding your underwear right now. I just met you. You know what I'm saying?
There's something in the game that's off.
Yeah. I get gay best friend a lot. I don't know what it. I don't. And a lot of it is like I don't want to make.
You don't make the girl uncomfortable.
I don't want to make her uncomfortable, and I'm not into like making moves. I'm not into.
You got to make the moves though,
bro. We're gonna put no talk.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No talking. There's a no. Oh, you're good. There's a no talking. We're gonna put a fucking piece of duct tape over your mouth. You're not allowed to talk.
Okay.
And neither is she.
We'll give you an earpiece.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, that might be. Yeah, that might be what I need.
Yeah, and the only time she can take her duct tape off.
Sounds like it might work.
Yeah.
Sounds like it might work. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm not big into like I'm a big toucher, but like of like people that I've known for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm not like big into touching, and I mean I heard that like you want to like that's a big part of flirting, like getting close, getting like intimate.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? I just never been good at that.
Today you probably need to have a contract or something though, just to be safe.
That might be damn
Some kind of disclosure.
Yeah, me with allegations, that would be hilarious. Oh my god.
I'd be very defensible in court, though. Very defensible.
I would be a little proud. I'm like, yeah, I did it. Didn't think I could.
It happened.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So how long have you been doing comedy? Like, when did you start?
I kind of lost track. I have the weirdest milestone that nobody's gonna. I mean, maybe you guys got a big enough fan base. Somebody might get it. I started doing comedy around the time that Monty from Rooster Teeth died. Out of that, somebody maybe got that. But man, it's been maybe 4 years.
Okay.
I just kind of.
Well, you said you were doing it for 3 years before you moved to New York, so.
Yeah. So something like those.
Or at least 5 then.
Yeah.
I have to ask you about the cancer too.
Yeah.
When did you find out? How did you find out? What happened?
Yeah. So it's happened recently. Actually, happened. I've been in New York for a while. Working, doing mics. The pandemic had sort of just happened.
Yeah.
It's actually the first year that I ever like had health insurance too. And the only reason I had health insurance because I was a big gym rat. I would go to the gym like in the mornings. I would wake up at like 3, write a little bit, and then I'd go to the gym and then go to work.
Awesome.
So I was a big gym rat. I was like, I'm not as fit as I want to be. Because I hate my body. Never as fit as you want to be when you're in that state of mind. I was like, what'll solve all my problems? Get some fucking abs. Pop up looking like Taylor Lautner. Everybody will love me. All right, I'll be fine.
Yeah, you look like a tall version of Taylor. I could see that.
Thank you. So I went to the doctor. I got health insurance at work for the first time. And I went to the doctor just to like check my testosterone, see if something like that could help.
Yeah.
I went to the doctor in January. She looked me over. She was like, "Your cholesterol's too high. Stop eating a dozen eggs every day." Because that's all I was eating. I was eating a dozen eggs and like chicken. She was like, "Stop doing that, but otherwise you're fine." And that was January, and then by May I had stage 4 cancer. It's testicular. There was no reason. There's no cause for it. It's the most common type of cancer with dudes our age.
Yeah, I know a guy that I went to high school with. He had it.
Yeah, and he probably beat it.
Yeah, he beat it, yeah.
I think that's the biggest surprise that the doctors have. Like, we don't know how this is killing you, honestly. This doesn't normally happen. It's like very, very curable. It's a very curable type of cancer, which is even more insulting that it's killing me.
Well, the comedian Duncan Trussell had it too.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh,
A
shit.
few years ago, yeah. I think it was...
did he die from it? Or did
no,
he?
he's still around.
Oh, makes sense, because you normally beat it.
Yeah. He actually just moved to North Carolina from L.A.
Oh, for real? Good. He can replace me. But
No,
yeah.
I don't say that. So you're in treatment currently, right?
Okay, this is how it is. I went to, because they started chemotherapy as soon as they saw it. The doctors were like, I mean, we caught it. We didn't catch it early, but we caught it, with enough time to treat it. It's still curable. That's what we're doing right now. So they started the chemo.
Yeah.
Checking the numbers, see that they were going down. They were sort of going down, but by the time I completed the chemo treatment the first time, they're like, they're not down enough, and they're still going up. So the only other step is what's known as like high dose chemotherapy.
Yeah.
They sent me to Indiana to get that, and that's just like, they just hit you with a nuclear bomb of chemo.
Yeah.
Essentially, before they do it, they take out stem cells from you. They harvest your stem cells. When they hit you with the chemo, it's just gonna, destroy your body. You're gonna need the stem cells injected back into you to help you recover. Really weird process of getting stem cells put into you. They smell like cream corn, just really, really fucking weird.
Interesting. I had stem cells put in my back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really bizarre. And so, that was horrible. I was in the hospital for a couple months. It was a horrible experience,
Wow.
and something went bad along the way. Like it almost killed me. I don't know what. You know what? I blame White Castle. I swear to God, because I got some sort of stomach infection, and I think that was the last thing I ate. I ate some fucking White Castle, and I was like, this didn't taste that good. And then my body was like, no, this really didn't taste that good. My vitals started like crashing, right? And I remember this never happened before because I was walking. I was pretty functional, during all the chemos. But after that started happening, I started to get like really tired. I was barely able to stay awake.
Yeah.
And it was getting harder to walk. And I remember one time I was on my way just to pee, and I collapsed like on the way to the toilet. And I had to get the nurses like, guys, I think I need help getting back. And that was sort of like the last conscious memory I had before, the next day I knew they were wheeling me to another section of the hospital.
Yeah.
And then I was surrounded by like 6 nurses and my sister. And I was in and out of consciousness, but like they were all holding me like upside down. Something to do with the blood pressure. They needed the blood to come back to my head, so they were holding me upside down.
Oh.
And then they made me do this thing, which is why I'm like, I respect nurses. They're superheroes that don't get enough appreciation.
Yeah.
And also they're fucking monsters, because they were doing this thing where they were shoving this tube in my nose, and then they're like, okay, when you feel it hit your throat, swallow it. Swallow. So they were shoving. I'm like gagging. Like they were shoving this thing down my throat. It took a couple tries, but they were forcing it down. And it was essentially to like whatever infection was going on in my stomach to kind of keep it lodged, that type of thing. I just had this rod poking like out of my neck through my nose, and it was there like indefinitely. It fucking horrible. It felt terrible, and I couldn't eat or drink for like 9 days.
Whoa.
That was essentially all my nutrients were coming in from bags.
Yeah.
But the only thing I was allowed to have was like crushed ice. And even that, they were cutting me off of that. Like, you're eating too much crushed ice. The only thing to alleviate like the dryness was these horrible, disgusting, tasted like NyQuil medicine pepper spray. And you just just puff that shit in, keep some moisture in your mouth to like talk, because otherwise I couldn't talk.
Wow.
And oh my God, water was like it was like the most important thing during that whole time. It was just, I wanted water more than anything in the world. To this day, that's just the only thing. Is mostly mineral water. That was the thing I was craving the most. It's just, that's all. I don't like the taste of anything else. It's just water. It was such a horrible experience, but all in hopes that like, all right, this is the cure, right? Like, because you're bombing the cancer, which is like this is the biggest thing we can legally give you, bro. This is the only thing we can give you, not in Mexico. So the numbers started looking good. You know what I mean? After the last chemo, I started to recover from that fucking infection slowly. Like I couldn't walk. They had to like teach me to walk and shit. But it was looking good. It was like, oh, it's all going to be worth it. The numbers are going down where they're supposed to be. Yeah. Finally got let out of the hospital. I remember I was working hard as fuck to get out, because physical therapy was like, I don't know, you're very weak. You can't really take care of yourself. We think we should take you to another physical therapy location for a couple of weeks before you're able to go. I was like, nah, fuck all that. My sister has been here too long. She needs to go back to her kids. So I just remember fucking Rocky Balboa walking through the fucking nursing areas, and they were like, hell yeah, Rene, you looking good. I was like, I'm not staying with these bitches. I'm getting out of here. You know what I mean? And I made it out, and it was looking good. The numbers were looking good. He was like, the cancer doctor would come in. He was like, everything's looking good. We think we're optimistic, and we're hoping to let you go soon. So because your physical therapy has been going well, so I was super excited. And then like when they finally let me go, we went to the place that we were staying in Indiana, packing our stuff, ready to go. I could not wait to come back to NC. And I remember the night before we were gonna leave, the car was packed. My sister and my mom were in the middle of packing, and I was like, you know what, just to before I go, because I went to the doctor that day and they drew some blood. They did a test on it. I was like, let me go ahead and just check the numbers, right? The numbers, they post them on your online portal for your account. And you can always see like where you are, where the cancer level is. You can always check after they draw blood. And I went on there to check it, and I saw that it went up. Oh. And that, my world crashed, right? Because it went from, the number it's supposed to be for the cancer marker, it's supposed to be below 5, right? Even Neil Armstrong in the ESPN 30 for 30 podcast talks about it a little bit, like following that number, like where it's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah.
And it was supposed to be below 5, and when I left the hospital, it was like a 4.6, something like that. I was like, perfect, below 5, that's normal.
Yeah.
And it went up to 10.
Oh.
And I was world crash. We tried to get a hold of the doctor immediately. The head nurse picked up for his office. He was like, look, I'll send him a message first thing in the morning when he gets in. I'll let him know and I'll give you a call.
Yeah.
And she talked to him, gave us a call the next morning, and he said, you can still go back to North Carolina. We're going to schedule some tests with the doctors down there, and we'll do a follow-up with you. Came back to North Carolina. They did a blood test. They were hoping that it was just like, sometimes this happens. Sometimes they go up a little bit. Not serious. We're going to check again, kind of,
Yeah.
Don't panic quite yet. So they did another, blood draw down here, and then the doctor calls me up. That's when I know shit's bad. If I get a call from a certain number from the doctor, if I pick up and his Hindu voice is on the other line, I'm like, something is bad.
Yeah.
That's the only time this dude calls me. And he called me one night, and I heard his voice, and I was like, fuck, world crash. As soon as I heard his voice, as soon as I picked up.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm sorry, but the numbers went up, and they went up so high that it's very clear that treatment did not work.
Wow.
So I had the meeting with the doctor in Indiana who was treating it, and he pretty much just said, look, that was the last thing for a cure. The only thing we can do now is treat it. Without this treatment that I'm going to recommend, we expect that the cancer will kill you sometime in 2021. So they started me in this treatment, but it's chemotherapy, but it's not for a cure. The way it works is they're just going to keep me on it for as long as they can, which is only so long. One of the drugs causes neuropathy, so your fingers and feet get really numb over time, and it'll eventually become permanent. You won't really be able to use them.
Oh, man.
So eventually they're going to take me off that drug, and it'll just be the other chemotherapy drug. And, at some point, the cancer is going to become resistant to it. Yeah. He's like, he mentioned it, but not in like a hopeful way. He was like, look, 15% chance this treatment could cure you. That's not the point of it. They're really just trying to give me time.
Yeah.
It's essentially what I'm getting right now.
Is there a treatment anywhere else that can work?
There's, trials, but they're definitely not guaranteed. One of them that he recommended after this treatment, stops working is a certain pill that they're experimenting with certain cancers. But according to him, he said I would be the first testicular cancer patient to receive that type of drug because there's no data. They've never had to give it.
What about other countries?
I haven't looked into that. But and another thing about me, illegal as fuck, undocumented immigrant. I couldn't leave the country anyways.
Yeah.
At least not without being able to not being able to come back.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, that's all good. All right. That was a lot of bummer. That was a lot of bum ass.
Well, with testicular cancer, can they remove the testicle?
Oh, they did. Okay. Funny story. They took away my ball, and it didn't have cancer.
The left one?
Took out the left one. Is that like protocol? Because they took it out. It didn't.
I thought I had testicular cancer at one point in time. It was my left one.
Oh, for real?
I did too, man.
Yeah, my left one is and it hangs lower. I learned a tremendous amount about testicles at a time that I did not want to learn about testicles. But it was the left one that.
Nah, you just hung, bro. It's just how you.
I just had a sore one.
I had a nodule. Yeah, I had a
word. No, yeah. For real, if you.
So I check. So I get my blood work done every 6 weeks now. It's just for a different reason, but that's another benefit.
Yeah,
I'm getting it done very regularly, but I've because of that scare at like, how old was I? 20 or 21. Because of that, I make sure I do annual checks too. Because I was like, I thought for sure I had testicular cancer. Actually,
you should, and it's not something that gets talked about a lot. Is like for good reason. So testicular cancer, when it's caught early, it's very curable.
Yeah.
Some people I've even heard stories of people they're like we think you have cancer. And they're like, oh my god, and they're like, okay, we confirmed it's cancerous testicular, and they're like, whew, okay, we're good. Because it's so fucking curable.
But you got your blood work done in January, and then had stage 4 by May.
Yeah,
right?
that's just bad. That's just bad luck.
So you removed the testicle,
which didn't have cancer, because like they ultrasounded my balls a few times, and when they first told me like, yeah, well, you have testicular cancer, but it's not in your balls because we ultrasounded, there's nothing there. And then one time, I guess they were just like, how is it not in his balls? So they just ultrasounded my balls again. It's like, okay, we think we may have found something. We're gonna cut it off just to be sure. I was like, all right, fine. So they cut off my ball. And then they called me back in, you know, a little bit after the surgery just to make sure it was healing well. And she was like, yeah, everything's looking good. All right, you're free to go. Oh, before you go, funny thing, turns out your testicle had no cancer. Isn't that funny? I was like, man, like, how?
You just cut it out.
Why are you so cheerful right now? You just, you're still dying, took it for no reason. How you? She may as well have had it to like a paddleboard and just been like playing with it, you know what I'm saying?
You should have took it home in a jar.
Oh, I wish. Took my ball for no reason.
So you can have testicular cancer and not in your testicles.
What he thinks happened, he might just be saying this to make me feel better. What the doctor thinks happened is like it started in your testicle, but the cancer blew up like a water balloon or something. Like it burst and it spread to, you know, the rest of your body. So yeah, that's what he think happened. So
is it in your lymph nodes and stuff, or?
Yeah, I think right now I got tumors on my liver and my. The ones in my lungs, they cleared up after first chemo, but they might be coming back. I don't know. They'll eventually come back. So lungs, and like one in my abdomen somewhere, like one grapefruitish somewhere in there.
Wow.
So far, you know, I don't know how far they're gonna get.
Yeah.
That's another shitty thing about cancer. You can't be an organ donor anymore. That fucking. Oh, I was really hoping somebody could get this, because I mean, I was straight edge before I got cancer. I smoked hella weed. Before I got cancer, I was straight edge as fuck. Somebody when I died, somebody was getting a liver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You were getting a real virgin ass, no drinking liver, and now all that shit is just fucking, it's just dying. It's just burning, dying.
Do you have a GoFundMe page or anything?
We did when we were when the doctors sent me to Indiana. We did start one to kind of help with it because I wasn't going to be able to work.
Yeah.
So that you know, help cover some of that and some of the stuff that was not necessarily covered by my insurance, and people were hella generous, like humblingly so.
Yeah.
Local people, Jenny, of course, gave money. Comics gave, you know, one dude gave $5,000, and it's just like, I don't know.
Awesome. Wow.
I don't know. I know who he is. I haven't seen him since. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm like, suck your dick. Like, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Humble, you own my house right now. Like, what am I supposed to do? People were incredibly generous, and it's even more disappointment that I couldn't come back with better news.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Yeah, but it is what it is. You know,
Yeah.
it's a shitty situation. I went through the most. I mean, yeah, I'm 27 years old. I'll be 28 in March. I hate to pretend like I'm deep or anything like that. It feels ludicrous for a dude as young as I am to be like, you know, I've come to terms with.
Hey, you said you're 27?
27, yeah. To like come to terms with like dying, but you know, when the time is coming, maybe I'll be a little bit more afraid. I was very afraid during the first chemotherapy. There was a lot of like contemplation of like, okay, like, well, I mean, fuck, like I might die. You know what I mean? Like really, like to really fucking face that, to really have to look at that, and not having anyone to turn to. I would try, like, you know, you would have moments where you just want to like yell, like, fuck, like I'm dying. You know what I mean? Like you just want to, I'll be at a Walmart. I just see people walking by. I just want to grab them by their shoulders and be like, I'm fucking dying. And it's just trying to like, you know, keep that in, really just deal with it. So I went through just like, oh, dude, just breakdowns.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, just like my shoulders were like giving it away. You know, like fucking breakdowns.
Yeah.
And I tried like certain, you know, anxiety medications and shit like that. The only thing the doctor said was like, you know, do you want to try to talk to a counselor or something? And I gave that a shot. But what can you say to a dying guy?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want. They were trying their best. I don't want to hold anything against them. But she was just like, I mean, just try to find. Where do you find peace normally? And it's just like nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Peace doesn't exist right now. But you know, right now I can honestly say it's not something I'm scared of. You know, I've accepted it.
Yeah.
I try to joke about it, obviously, and comedy. It's hard to make it funny. Hard not to bum people out. Thank you. I'm trying as hard as I can because it's such a shitty subject.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't want to make this a shitty podcast. I don't want to bum anybody listening out.
Good.
No, man, this is
about
I'm not real life. So.
Yeah, I'm not lying when I say that. I'm not upset. You know, I'm not.
Yeah.
I sleep well at night. I talk to my family about it. That's where most of the pain comes from. Like, is knowing that my sisters gotta see me like that, or knowing that they gotta pretend like they're not. You weren't just crying in the car. Like, who you trying to fool? You know what I mean?
Right.
But the only thing I can do is just make it as easy as I can for the people around me. And
Yeah.
you know, like I said, I'm doing fine. I manage my pain. Smoking hella weed.
I'm definitely pro marijuana, 100%.
Hell yeah.
There's too many medical, without putting people on blast, man. There's too many positive benefits from it.
Yeah.
And for me, like in my own life, like I've never been the guy like I can't do the pills. I can't do the stuff. I don't like. I know too many people that
don't like to escape life.
Yeah, I don't want to escape life. Like I know too many people that have turned into, we call it hillbilly heroin around here.
Word.
You know, but they take narcotics essentially and crush them up and snort them. Also, like I just didn't want any part of any of that.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel like I felt like marijuana is such a positive alternative. Like there's so many medical benefits that you can get from it. And look at children with seizures. Look at children with epilepsy. Look at children like with autism. Look at all these different things. I like to focus on that, but look at adults. How about, you know, in states where they've legalized marijuana and people under 25, that alcoholism has decreased by over 60%.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
Right. So like if you start to look at some of these positive benefits, right? Like it's, you know, this, you know, and every once in a while is fine, but if I drank as much as I smoked weed, I'd be a fucking alcoholic.
Oh, word. Hell yeah.
I mean, like it'd ruin my life.
Yeah.
I smoke. If I have a stressful day, if it just seems like the world's on top of me, I can literally smoke, and 5-10 minutes later, like almost instantly, take a breath. Maybe the first time I've breathed correctly all day.
Yeah.
Right. Like take a deep breath and just let the anxiety, let the stress, let whatever's going on go.
Yeah.
And move forward.
No, that's 100%.
Yeah.
And like to anybody out there, because I used to have, like I said, I was straight edge. I used to have my holdups about marijuana. All right, and you know, I'll say this. Look, listen, like the only thing that has been able to get me to like not have a panic attack every time I realize that like this is it has been marijuana. Do you understand? Like I don't need to bring up the fact that like it helps you with the nausea, it helps you with the fucking pain, it helps you with the neuropathy, it helps you fucking sleep.
Yeah.
It helped me just come to terms with the fact that like I'm fucking dying.
And it's not that you're not. It's also introspective. So it probably makes you think about it more, but in a more objective way, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. It make like it. You do overanalyze stuff, but it's stuff that I had to overanalyze.
Yeah.
You know, those breakdowns that I was having, it was because I wasn't facing the shit that was like right there.
It's good to overanalyze things. A lot of people don't. A lot of people seem to me like they're not even conscious. Like they're not fully conscious.
Yeah.
Like they're just sort of living life like a machine, and they're unaware of themselves and everything else around them. It's like there's no introspection there, no self-awareness.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like that. And I think anything that makes you more self-aware or more introspective is really good.
For real. Yeah. It's like it's forced meditation in a way.
It also it increases empathy too.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely have sessions where I'm so high. I'm like, people are great.
Yeah.
Humans are the best. I'm definitely just like so warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you read about any of the psilocybin research with cancer patients?
No.
You should look into that. They've done some big studies on cancer patients with psilocybin, and they've had incredible results.
Word. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely heard. It might be the trials that I saw in New York. There's a cancer center up there. It's actually near where I used to live that is doing medical trials for incurable cancer of the type that I got.
Yeah.
And they were looking for like subjects. That's where I was going to go. Like whenever, I mean, if it was still available, whenever this treatment stops working, I was going to head up there.
Yeah.
That might be what they were trying.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
I don't want to put him on blast, but I've got a person that's really close to us. He's actually worked for you first. He's been friends with my brother for a long time, but he worked for you before he worked for me. And he's been with me for a decade, with us for a decade.
Yeah.
He's got a family member that had cancer, and she had gotten all the way down to like 85 pounds.
Damn.
They started. They had tried everything, right? So they thought, and they started her with marijuana, and like. This is 4 years now, but she's like 120 pounds. Like,
yep.
It's the only way she could eat and hold the food down, like have an appetite.
Yeah.
And so she uses it exclusively to eat, pain management. She doesn't take antidepressants. Like literally, it solved all these things. And they were trying to give her pills to not be nauseous, right?
Yeah.
The pills made her sick, right? Like it just didn't make any sense, right?
Nope.
So. This family, this is started I think 4 or 5 years ago. This family literally traveled and risked felony going across multiple state lines to get medical treatment for their daughter, to bring it back so that she could live.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. No,
and I think that's why I'm behind. I get how people abuse things or whatever, fine.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so silly, man.
Yeah.
Like our arbitrary laws and stuff about drugs and especially plants.
The negatives that they claim
it's not real.
It's not. Even if they were real, they're not bad enough for it to be worth it. Alcohol's negatives are way
actually,
worse.
all drugs should be decriminalized, and they should focus on helping people instead of giving them felonies. Because a lot of people, especially people doing opiates and stuff like that and heroin, those people, number one, they're addicted to that thing. They're not criminals. They're just addicted to a drug. And they're taking the drug for a reason. There's something wrong in their life that's pushing them in that direction. That's the problem. You need to figure out how to help them deal with that. And if they want to do the drug, that should be their right, and they should be able to do it safely with the right information and in a good environment.
And some of those people, we know some of them, it was easier for them to get pills than it was to get marijuana. This is years ago where some of this problem started. I almost wonder if you went somewhere for and you're dealing with certain issues that you would get prescribed narcotics, if they didn't start with something THC or cannabinoid based, like that.
Well, there's no money in that though.
True,
not
but
in
if you
the
start there,
world.
does it take them down a different path? You know?
Yeah. And actually, there is, because I was talking to a nurse when I was in the hospital out there. They, in a way, like, because especially in Indiana, they have hardcore like anti-marijuana laws. So it's fucking horrible seeing all the people going through treatment, knowing that like smoking marijuana could help you so much right now, but we can't legally give it to you. So here's more heroin, pretty much is what they're doing.
That's exactly what they're giving you. Yeah.
But there is one pill that he used that it is either derived from hemp or cannabis that they give exactly for, it's either nausea or hunger, and it's like, oh, so you're literally using it. You're already using it. Yeah. Just actually use it now.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. No, I'm a huge proponent of I don't know what word we want to use. Cannabis, marijuana, THC,
medical marijuana.
CBDs.
Yeah. Bro, even just recreational stuff.
All of it, bro.
Did y'all see that how big marijuana increase went because of the pandemic?
Oh.
And it's like, it makes sense. This is exactly what you need to deal with this.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, and it's out of the bag. The states need to get in line. Yeah. Because here's the other thing that's going on.
Well, it's really a individual rights issue.
I agree. Well, here's another thing. Now they can't enforce against it. Right?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. So hemp, like let's say in this state, in North Carolina, hemp is legal, right?
Yeah.
But marijuana is not technically, right? But what's the difference between hemp and marijuana is THC content. They don't have the technology to test for THC content on the side of the road.
Right.
Most marijuana crimes are not being prosecuted. Most sheriffs, most police, most departments don't care about marijuana.
It's not causing problems.
They're not causing issues, right? You're not getting high on marijuana and going out and killing people. Typically,
the fact that it's illegal is what causes problems.
I agree.
It puts cartels in business.
Yeah. Oh, that's another.
I'm just ready for it to flip.
Yeah.
I'm so over it. Like I know of, maybe they're not close to me, but I know of cops, judges, attorneys. I know people worth $100 million and people worth $10 to smoke. Like it's actually one thing that Republican, Democrat, whatever party, like it doesn't matter. It's bipartisan, like literally, like, and there should be bipartisan support. So,
Yeah, and I genuinely hope I live long enough to really see like it be fully legalized. In the entire country.
It won't be long.
Yeah. It can't be.
And it's just science. We have the internet today, so you can't lie to people.
Yeah.
We all have all the knowledge, all human knowledge in the world right here in our pockets.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's gonna be like sort of a crescendo. I think because like when neighboring states like legalize it recreationally, like the state that doesn't has no choice but to legalize it because there are already like so many people going over the border.
They're losing all the revenue. Yeah. If you want to look at it from the money,
multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Even some of the people that are against legalizing it are the dispensaries that have like such a big piece of the market.
They have a monopoly.
Oh yeah. They're like, no, don't legalize it because we're making bank.
Yeah. They actually, it's funny you say that. That there's a lot of that going on where the states that have it legalized are. I've actually heard that where some of those companies are getting really powerful and they're actually against it in the neighboring states. So they're actually putting money behind
hire lobbyists
to keep the other states from getting it from legalizing.
So messed up.
Yeah. So
this last election was a big win for marijuana. I know Jersey legalized it, so everybody in New York got their fucking easy pass now going to Jersey.
Yeah. A ton, man. I think
DC.
Yeah, I got some weed at check this out. I got some weed at DC, right? I went to a girl's place, right? And I've been smoking this for a while. Okay, like because like when I say I was straight edge, I mean like I didn't start smoking until like maybe I've been smoking for like 4 months.
Oh
right?
god dang!
Like recent as fuck.
You're virgin on that level too, but you've come out at full force.
I had no choice.
Yeah.
Because people when people hear you dying, they're like, "Why are you conscious right now? I got this weed for you. Take it." Like they just give you weed, right?
Yeah.
So I just been smoking what people giving me, and people were giving me like the you dying weed. You know what I'm saying? So I just bring a joint of like my normal regular shit, and we light up. She smoked a little bit. I smoked a little bit, and you know, I thought we were vibing. I thought we were having like a moment, looking into each other's eyes. I was like, oh shit, okay, what's up? What's good, shorty? Next thing I knew, homegirl is on the ground. She passes out. Oh, and I'm fucking freaking out, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wasn't freaking out too bad. I was surprised how calm I was by the fact that there was a passed out white woman like right there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh my god, what? Like, I just start patting her head. That's all I know what to do. I'm like, here we go. Here we go. So all I'm doing, I just sit there and like pat her head, and I keep her giant fucking dog off of her because he's just like coming to play, and I'm like, no, bro, chill out. Eventually she comes too, but she was like, Dad, I don't know what you're smoking, but I just been smoking dirt weed. Like I don't know what you gave me. So yeah, I've been smoking like the fucking highest. Like, I don't know what
stuff.
they're giving me.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Potent shit.
Yeah, man. I like that. I like that. You done motivated me now. Now I've been challenged. I'm taking it as a personal challenge tonight.
No, because it helps. Like it's for a reason.
Yeah,
that'd be a funny scene in a movie.
I love that you didn't have a Jeffrey Epstein moment though. I was worried where that was going. Like,
oh my god, dude.
Yeah, that's not the way.
You know, if you were like one of my teenage friends, what would have happened is one of my other teenage friends would have pulled his balls out and put them on your cheek and took a picture. So let's just put it in perspective here. But Parker, shout out to Parker. Parker was in the gym the other day and he left his phone and dipped. Like he was in a hurry. He got out. He left. He made it probably 5 miles down the road. Turned around. By the time Parker got back, not sure if you found him yet, Parker. He had a picture of balls on his camera, human balls and the dog and Hero's balls.
That's funny. That's funny. You might be funny. You might be really funny. We do that. Oh my god, we do that too. Oh my god, there's nothing funnier than like. I do this thing with my friends sometimes. We're like, if you leave your phone unattended,
yeah.
What'll happen is we'll pop it up, pull up a big black penis.
Oh yeah.
And then lock the phone, and then just try to play it as cool as the fuck you can until you open your phone. And it could be, you could check it immediately. Yeah, it could be an hour into the drive. You don't say shit.
Yes.
You're just calm as fuck. Like, nah, man, yeah, what's up?
Hopefully they're trying to show something to somebody on their phone, right?
Yeah. And then you open your phone, the biggest black penis, and then hilarity ensues.
I'm gonna text you when we get done, man. So they got me. You know the one I'm talking about. The one that goes around everybody.
The giant black dude that's doing.
Yeah, is it homeboy that's just?
Yeah. So like
I like his work.
My guys, I like his work too, man. I'm impressed. But my guy's like, he sends me this article and it says gun sales banned in North Carolina, and it says WFMY or something. I was like, oh fuck. So he's like, oh, real quick, man, just check the link, dude. And I'm like, look, I'm like, all right, man, let me see what's going on. And I pull it up, I'm like, oh. I've been got so many times with that one. Now they change it, right? They change the.
It's always clever though.
It's clever, right?
It's
and it got me. I was like,
that's a lot of fun. There's another one called Meat Spin. It's big. It's popular in people's office because you just go to meatspin.com and like just like minimize the thing. And it's funny because like it's a dude. It's like a gif of like a gay porn video, and the dude's penis is like flopping in circles. So it's why it's called meat spin, and it tallies like how many spins you in before you leave the website. So it's funny to see like whoever gets like the most spins in before they realize what the fuck is going to happen.
That's funny.
Now I got a new one to try. Some of my best friends, man. Like I feel like, and we talk about age and time and how I don't necessarily believe in time, and I don't know it as well as he does, but I feel like we're just a collection of our memories up to this point, right? And that's kind of who we become, what the things that we've done, right? And it's like, in my mind, I get around certain friends, and I'm just like 13 again, 15 again. Like, I mean, like I'm like a big kid. Like I can be an adult and be responsible and all that, and that's great. But there's nothing like some ball shots, man. There's nothing like a good set of balls on your buddy's phone, you know?
Hell yeah.
I mean, just some dumb shit. And I don't know. I kind of like it, man. You kind of get to be a kid again. And
I feel you.
It's something I look forward to.
No, yeah. And I mean, as a comic, I don't even know if I can call myself a man or an adult. We're fucking men children.
Right.
But no, I definitely get it. And I definitely, sometimes I even feel weird calling myself an adult. I still feel like the same fucking ball tapping kid.
What age
adults
do you
aren't
feel
real.
Like? Well, yeah, I don't think so. What age do you like? I feel like I'm stuck at like, I don't know. I'd have to go back, but I mean, I don't know.
Well, your brain matures at about 26.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm 16.
Word?
I mean, like, I guess some of my thoughts, 26, probably 26 to 30, some of the more mature thoughts. But like the individual at my core, like some of the same battles. Now, maybe I've answered those questions about who I am. But at 16, like on some level, like that's the last time I don't know, like prior to that, 15, 16, 17, I felt like a child. And then I felt like a fucking man. And I felt the exact same way since that point. Like, I don't know, something clicked.
I got you.
And I went from being like 10 to just being a man.
Hell yeah. No, I like that. And that's probably, and like having that 16-year-old mentality, but the capital of like a fucking man.
Yeah.
That's so much fun, dude.
Yeah, man.
I feel different every year, but I mean, it's always the same me.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's extra layers.
I get you.
You know, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should be ashamed to say it. I feel like the dude I was before I was dying was kind of a douche.
Oh, yeah?
I really was.
You know, when I had my accident and lost my leg, I was in a motorcycle accident 7-8 years ago. I lost my right leg below the knee.
Damn.
And I almost died. And in that moment, I actually had the thought. I was like, this could be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew I was bleeding really bad. I somehow stayed conscious the whole time, but
even with the balls on his face. I had to take the chance to teabag him.
probably would have if you were there.
I would.
I think we got the bleeding stop, but hang on a second.
I already called the cops. Let me do this.
But anyway, there was a moment when I thought, this might be it.
Yeah.
And it was almost like it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. It was almost like a calm feeling. It's like, oh, okay, so this could be.
That's the blood loss right there.
The end of it, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I'm not ready yet, though. I need to keep fighting.
Yeah.
And I did, and I was fine. But after that accident, though, a lot did change for me, though. Because I used to be pretty intense, and
it didn't bother me, but yeah, there were other people where like he was definitely.
I was.
You were wild.
No. He was what's the word? Intense is the word.
Intense.
But
I was intense. I was really.
He was
just analytical.
Oh, okay.
Intense. I mean, I've always had a creative side. I've always been an artist too, but I was just really uptight all the time.
Oh, gotcha. Like super cynical.
Yeah, well, just it's kind of a serious, stoic,
very
person.
stoic, very serious, very intense, very direct. I actually liked it thoroughly, me personally, but some people were very intimidated.
I wasn't mean. I was just very direct. And,
I actually thoroughly.
Uptight, sort of.
It was actually a relief because some people are so full of shit.
Yeah.
He was extremely direct, and if you disagree with you, he will. Well, that's not right. This is actually how it goes.
Hell yeah, I kind of got you. So maybe you just lightened up. Like
I'm more laid back now, way more laid back than I used to be, and because I don't take myself as seriously as I used to, and I look at things a lot differently. It changed my perspective on what's important and where I'm where my focus is at in life and what life is.
Yeah.
It was a good thing for me. It was very positive.
Yeah. You can't have an experience like that without it changing something. Yeah. You did it bad if you got nothing from it.
And then I realized also there's a lot of just the way I was living my life. I wasn't really living.
I feel you. Yeah. No, I definitely got that feeling like post, everything pretty much. Like the dude I was before. I mean, when you asked me to do the podcast, like that dude would have said no because, I got to wake up and go to the gym in the morning. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was counting calories, counting carbs, all that shit.
I've been there too.
Oh man, it's just I wasn't miserable, but I wasn't happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could have had a worse life.
Well, it's good to take care of your body. I still take care of myself.
Yeah.
And you're in good shape. I mean, you clearly still take care of your body.
Thank you.
But, and that didn't really change, but.
Yeah. But you're probably doing it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? You were doing it probably had like a balance about it.
I didn't. I was a competitive bodybuilder years ago.
Oh shit!
Before that accident, and so it was a little extreme.
All right, so we're both sick then.
Yeah.
We're both sick.
Yeah, I gotta tell you something really funny. Or I'm not gonna do it justice. I wish. Shout out to Mike. I wish Mike was here so he could tell it to you. But so Mike, I can say it because I'm fat, and especially this time I was definitely.
But you've
fat.
lost 100 pounds in the past year.
I have. I've lost. Yeah, so I'm definitely getting in better shape. But anyway, so let's imagine Mike's a little bit shorter, pudgier, not overweight, but definitely not in great shape, right? So we're at the gym at Asheboro Health and Fitness, and Neil's girlfriend at the time was doing some ab workout. And Neil, obviously, I think professional bodybuilder or
no, not even close.
Very
just really good shape. Yeah.
To all of us, look like a professional bodybuilder, but
Yeah, he's looking good.
But anyway, obviously he knows what he's doing. I believe he trained people. He did stuff. Definitely helps.
Yeah.
Anyway, his girl knows how to do sit-ups, right? And she's doing what Neil has directed her to do. So my buddy Mike takes it upon himself to kind of critique. This is not a guy that works out, by the way. To critique her sit-ups.
Oh yeah,
and
mansplaining. Here we go.
Yeah. Like this is really how you should be doing it. So anyway, fast forward a few minutes, and somehow Neil and Mike are together with Kara. And Neil's like telling her, well, "Listen, I've got her," basically saying she knows what she's supposed to be doing. Da da da. And then Neil says, "Look at my abs, and then look at yours."
So stupid.
So the running joke for like 14, 15 years. Literally to this day is like, look at my, like when I want to, and it's so fucking epic. Like look at my abs. Even like a few weeks ago, I said it. I was like, look at my abs. And Neil lifts his shirt and it's got this just ripped, right? Just abs, right?
Yeah, I used to stay like that.
That's
all the
actually
time.
one thing I'm trying to work on is, I mean, I was definitely body image issues is something I had to work on, but I don't want to die without having a six-pack. God damn it.
I like your goals, man.
I've gotten close so many times. The last time I got close to a six-pack, it was only because I was going through like serious depression and I wasn't eating. And I looked in the mirror one day, I was like, oh my God, because I was still working out, but I wasn't eating. I was like, oh my God, this is how you do it. You just don't eat.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there because Chadwick Boseman, I was so shocked when I found out that he died from cancer, because that means he was going through treatment and looking as good as he was.
Yeah.
In those movies, and I'm like, if he can do it, I can try to get to something like that.
You can do it, yeah. For sure.
So have you ever seen like where they eat the sushi off the naked ladies? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
You should do that. You should not eat it off the naked ladies. You should be the naked dude. Yes, yeah. You should like get the 6-pack, and you should like pay, and we'll make it a fundraiser, like a charitable event, and you can have sushi eaten off of you. I'm sure there's ladies out there would love it.
Oh yeah, I could cover up the ball that I'm missing with like sashimi.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
No shrimp. We don't want to insult you. You know, like something manly.
Thank you.
Some yellow tail lobster. Yeah, lobster tail. There you go.
Hell yeah. I miss some sushi, man.
Sushi's good. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's my running joke with Mike. I'll be like, look at my abs, like, because anytime he tries to. If he just steps outside of his expertise, I can bring him back down pretty quickly with that.
Mike actually got in really good shape a few years ago, though.
He did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, your encouragement from that, I think, helped contribute to that. But I don't know. It's good fun though.
Oh yeah.
No, those are the best.
What was your childhood like, man? What did your parents do, or what led you towards comedy?
Parents. Oh, you're getting ahead of yourself, bro.
Yeah.
So huge. Some parents, 2 of them. Hold on. Man. I'm like I said, I was born in Mexico, and then we came up here illegally when I was 3. It's mostly been my mom and my sisters.
Do you remember coming here?
Not really. I have vague memories of Mexico. Mostly I got smells.
Oh, okay.
Mostly a lot of smells.
Smells weird, right?
Not good smells for some reason. I really wish I would I'd walk through a daffodil. Bunch of daffodils the other day. I thought of Mexico. Now I'll walk through like manure. I'm like, yo, I remember this. This is definitely Mexico right now. I don't remember much, but we grew up in North Carolina. I don't know how my mom made it that far into America and was like, this is a good spot right here. This is a good spot for brown people that can't speak English. Start setting up. I grew up in North Carolina, all my life, like the rural parts of North Carolina.
Well, I guess when you came over, it was probably, what, 93?
96, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Grew up here, went to elementary school, high school here, worked pretty much here. And then, it wasn't until I moved out of North Carolina to New York that I saw anything else.
Yeah.
So North Carolina is pretty much all I know.
It was just you and your mom?
And my sisters. It was me and my mom a lot. My brother. I mean, when we first got here, it was my mom, my 2 sisters, and my brother. I'm the youngest.
Okay.
My brother left first back to Mexico to be with my dad. He would kind of in and out.
Okay.
Come into the country. And my sister stayed with me for the longest. Eventually, they went to Mexico as well. So for a while, that was just me and my mom up here. But then they came back. My sisters came back, so they're all here now. And yeah, I was pretty much raised by my sisters. Didn't have a dad. Dad stayed in Mexico.
Okay.
He was sort of the reason my mom left. Not a great relationship.
Yeah.
And Mexico is very patriarchal. So, unfortunately, to this day, a lot of the times, if it involves domestic abuse, especially in the city, there's not a lot of options that the women have to get out of it.
Yeah.
Whether it's bribing the cops or just the cops not caring about it.
I know a lady that was in the same situation.
Yeah. And I hate it. I hate that that's a common thing in Latino households. So yeah, I never met my dad. From what I know, he was a cool guy, aside from the women beating thing. I mean, my sisters, when he passed away, my sisters felt it and they mourned for him. So he couldn't have been all bad if they had feelings for him.
Right, yeah.
I just never really knew how to feel about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you didn't know him.
Yeah. And it is a weird thought knowing that, like, if he was alive now and because of the cancer thing, he would probably be calling me up and bawling most of the time or however he would deal with it.
Yeah.
So in a certain way, he does care about his kids.
Yeah.
Just a weird relationship there. But no, mostly just my mom, my sisters in trailer parks growing up.
Okay.
Until I got to New York.
I was a poor kid, so I don't, no judgment.
What city did you grow up in? Or multiple?
Surrey County-ish area.
Okay,
I don't know if you guys have ever been down there.
Oh, yeah.
Or don't go down there.
I've been there.
Not much left now. All those small towns are suffering.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I grew up there in a tobacco house. I didn't know it was a tobacco house until people started describing like their houses. I'm like, oh, y'all don't fight off snakes on a regular basis? That's weird. No, but I can't really complain about anything because just the fact that growing up, I was talking about this with my friend the other day. My mom, she couldn't really tell her kids that they could be whatever they wanted to be. Yeah. When you grow up, because she knew we were going to be undocumented. So if I'm like, yo, mom, I want to be an astronaut, it's like, oh, slow down, come on now. How about picking fields, huh? Isn't that cool? Like she knew my options were going to be limited, and so she always kind of laid that out for her. She was honest about it, which I appreciate about her. It must have hurt her. I bet she wanted to tell her kids that they could be whatever they wanted, but she knew the situation they were in. But that made it sort of hard to give a shit about stuff in high school. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck? I'm gonna be a lawyer, bro. I already know where I'm going. I already know what I'm gonna be. Like, it was hard. I was a bad student in that way. But the fact that I didn't end up like some of the people I know, which they still have better lives.
Well, comedy is a good outlet for you too, and adversity makes you more interesting too.
Yeah. Comedy is an amazing outlet, which is one of the reasons why I appreciate everything that I had. Because even including the cancer, I had my 27, 28, however many years I get to live. They were better here in America than they would have been in Mexico, even if I didn't get cancer.
Yeah.
I hope not. Mexico is not a bloodthirsty, fucking Mad Max type world that it looks like in the news. Unfortunately, that is a big part of it. But a lot of my cousins down there, the situations they grew up in, there was a lot of love, a lot of family, but there was, violence. And
so they get rid of the drug war to help a lot of that.
Yeah. A lot of, just lack of opportunities. And it all stems from that same problem. But the fact that
I think eventually the United States will probably merge with Mexico.
That would be be wild. That would be so wild.
It'll probably happen eventually.
I mean, it depends on what the country's going to be called after that, where like the problems start to get.
Probably keep the same name, but just be like
because if so you're pretty much so America's going to take over Mexico and like.
I don't think it'll take over. I think we'll probably just merge. I think a lot of.
But like call it America, ooh, bro.
I think as technology advances, a lot of countries will start to merge together. It'll be regions.
I think it'll still be Mexico.
Yeah, it'll still be Mexico.
I mean, if it gets to the point where like you can like European countries,
Puerto Rico.
Gotcha. Yeah, where like the borders are open, but there's no. That's because like the people are gonna relatively stay in their homes. They're not immediately gonna cross and like overpopulate each other. I think they can see that happen.
If you want to fix the problem we have right now with immigration and stuff, you have to make things better where there's a problem. Because if there's always a problem there, then people are always gonna leave there to come here where there's not a problem.
Yeah.
Or as big of a problem.
It is. It's just, I mean, if you've seen Narcos, it's exactly what.
It's not going to change, and there's a lot of money involved in that too.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened with Colombia in America, where Pablo Escobar became so powerful because of the American money. It's the same thing with the cartels in Mexico. They have American dollars, which overpowers so much of the Mexican government.
And it's all driven by the drug war.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And you know, it's like, what I like to say is, if you could somehow magically split Mexico from America by an ocean, right? You wouldn't solve the drug issue because the demand is going to be so high because America is such a big consumer of illegal narcotics.
Billions of dollars.
Yeah. Canada will become the new Mexico. Like, anybody's going to be there to meet that demand. As long as that demand is going to be there, someone's going to meet it. Unfortunately, right now it's Mexico, and like that's where the violence comes from. And the only way to really
Mexico and Central America and South America.
Yeah,
well, I think if you legalize and regulate.
It
like
solves a lot of that problem immediately.
Yeah. Decriminalize is definitely definitely a good step forward to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I used to believe that.
But you have to bring up those parts of the world too. To really fix the problem.
Yeah, and the lack of
happen.
You can't even start a business in a lot of places in Mexico without paying a quota to the local gang members. So that already makes it impossible for a lot of small business owners to start a company, let alone hire employees to give them opportunities in those bad neighborhoods to make something out of themselves. So like from the get-go, it's just it's just this deck is stacked against you.
This is going to sound really bad, but I think if I grew up there, I think you just join the most powerful gang. I'm being serious.
That's
it's a survival thing, right?
If I grew up there, I'd probably be here.
No, I was laughing. I was laughing because when you said this is going to sound bad, I thought you were going to say build the wall, build the wall. But what you said was way better. I don't know. It was just funny in my head. I was like, that'd be funny if it was just like build the wall.
No, man. Listen, I'm a firm believer that.
Oh, even if you were, bro, it's totally cool. I got a lot of Trump supporting friends.
And for me, like, you got to survive, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a survivor. Like I like to think I am, and that's what I would do. I'd find the most powerful, and I'd go in there and I'd make myself useful.
Yeah.
Right, like because I'm gonna solve problems, and I think on any level, like put me in any country in the world, I don't even have to speak the language. I'll figure the fuck out.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm just gonna keep moving.
But
right.
You can be a successful business person in Mexico too. Though there's a lot of business down there.
Yeah, there's definitely commerce down there. People making stuff
Mexico
happen.
City doesn't look third world.
No, it's a lot.
I have a friend that
there's a lot of others like Monterrey is
English.
very.
Well, most of the resorts are owned by the cartels, and they don't kill. They're protected because of.
Well, a lot of the resorts are actually protected by the military.
Yeah, and I mean, like there is a lot of legitimate great businesses in Mexico, but it is sort of like if you see people with money, chances are there's a good percentage of chances there's drug money somewhere in there because it's just so embedded. And I hate to say it, and I'm ashamed. I have some shame about it that's coming from my country, but when the fucking cartels started to fuck with avocados, I'm like, God damn, bro, nothing is sacred. Nothing. That's why I would, I came to the country illegally, but it was much different back then. Now, any family member, anybody that's coming, it's like, dude, I want to go to Mexico illegally. No, nobody in their right minds who's illegally in this country right now would recommend anybody doing it because of how dangerous it is right now.
Yeah.
It used to be you pay like a farmer who sort of knew the land to like get you over. You would pay him as a coyote. Now all the coyotes are cartels. And actually the last time my brother was trying to come illegally, they did the same tactic where once they got the people over the border, they took them to like a holding area, like a holding house in the middle of nowhere, and they did the bullshit where they called the families and they're like, look, there was some complications on the way. Point is, we're going to need more money, another $1,000. You want to see them? Oh, no, he's fine. He's safe. There's water. There's food. You want to talk to him? It's another $1,000. And it was that type of shit where they were trying to like get more money out of, my mom and my family. It ended up happening where like the cartel people, they got caught at some point. When they were out. I guess they were going for supplies. So they never came back. Everybody was just in the building for a really long time. And eventually they're like, I don't think they're coming back. Let's just fucking go. They started wandering the desert, but there was just no water. They didn't know where to go. They didn't know what to do. They just went to a house and knocked on the door and they're like, yo, illegal immigrants, we need help type of thing. So I would nowadays I would never recommend anybody. Which should sort of give you an idea of like how dire this shit is in places like Guatemala and Honduras, that they're still willing to go through that shit.
Yeah.
They're still willing to go in that caravan even now for that type of help. It's a shitty situation. I'm not an open borders type of dude.
Well, there's a big thing right now, right, with people from, is it Guatemala?
Yeah, there's a caravan coming right now. Yeah.
But here's the thing, I focus mostly on the U.S. because I'm an American. I'm proud to be an American.
Okay, it makes sense.
I grew up here. It's my country, but and I love America. We have a lot of problems, but still a great country with a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
But I really believe that. I mean, humanity in the big scheme of time is not really that old anyway,
right.
and just a short while back, we were pretty terrible as a whole.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, we still have a lot of those traits, but we're getting better. And global poverty has decreased by 20%. I mean, by 50% in the past 20 years. So as we become more technologically advanced, we statistically become better. Humans in general, all Homo sapiens.
Yeah.
And I believe that money and a lot of the elements of our society, this construct that we've created, are not really real things. They're real because we believe in them. We look at a lot of these things the wrong way. And I think as we evolve and as technology improves and we change our perspectives, I think we'll fix a lot of these problems. And then I think here, in the first world countries, you'll start to see the improvements first, and then it'll start to spread to other countries, and they'll start to develop.
Yeah, and that was technically what was supposed to happen between America and Mexico.
Well, we have the internet now, so we're all connected.
Yeah,
the whole world's connected, and we're becoming more and more connected. And once we start to reach a level of connectivity where we start to increase our empathy, we start to experience each other's feelings and share ideas more fluidly, I think our empathy will increase, because if you can feel someone's pain or you can see someone suffering and physically experience that, then you'll stop it.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a part of you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this person's hungry. Well, I'm hungry. Let's feed us. Let's fix this problem.
And I totally get, like, in a weird way, the people that, like, 'cause that's an amazing mentality and perspective to have. But the people that don't have it, right, when they are looking at, like, those people coming in from the caravans, they're like, oh, those are criminals. They're coming in here illegal. They're doing it the wrong way. Even that mentality, even those mental gymnastics that they're doing it because they don't want to believe in the reality where, like, oh, these people are fucked.
I just see desperate people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And instead of seeing desperate people, they're like, no, there's a reason they're like that, and it's not my fault, and I'm not going to help them. Because the alternative is that guilty feeling of, like, fuck. There's people that are in really shitty situations in the world.
There are. Yeah.
And there's probably evil people within those groups.
100%.
But I think the lion's share, that's not the case.
Yeah, the vast majority is just people.
So let me ask you this. This is something, because I've thought a lot about this. I pride myself. I judge you based on how you treat me. I don't give a shit about anything else.
I get you.
Personally. Like, what you look like, what your accent is, what you believe in. Those things we can talk about them. That's fine. That's fine. I don't care. But what do you do? So you've been here since you were 3?
Yeah, 3 years old.
Where the fuck are you gonna go?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely.
Yeah, you're an American.
Like I get it, and I understand. Yeah. And this is probably gonna cause some big backlash. But at the same point, you've been here since you're fucking 3.
Yeah.
You're 27. This is home, right? Yeah. Like, where the fuck are they gonna send you?
Yeah, I'm fully assimilated. If you deport me to Mexico, you're deporting an American.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna be like, yo, what's the Wi-Fi password?
Yeah. That's just like.
You go, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah. We're Starbucks. Yeah. So I mean, like, it doesn't make any sense to me at this point. Like, there's a lot of shit. Like I get it. I think that getting into this country should be easier. I think a pathway to citizenship should be easier. I think, and a lot of this is. Because if not, how do you put the coyotes out? How do you put these people out of business that are predatory, right? How do you do that? Well, I think you've got to create these other ways, and then you got to lift up Mexico, because maybe you need reverse migration.
Well, we just need to all realize that we're all the same thing.
Yeah,
we're all the same goddamn thing. We're all human beings.
Yeah,
there's these imaginary lines don't mean shit. We're all the same. Like we all share the same DNA. We all come from the same stuff. We're all the same thing.
Yeah.
And we just look at reality the wrong way.
Yeah.
And understandably, I mean, we're evolving. So, I mean, if you go back 100 years, it makes sense sort of the way they looked at. I mean, it doesn't, but I understand why they felt the way they did.
Yeah.
But now we have the ability to look at things differently. We have science and technology, and we have the ability to understand these things. We just need to change the construct.
Yeah, and I think that perspective that you have specifically comes from seeing the world as bigger than yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can definitely tell just from the way that you look at things.
Well, I look at other people as myself.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see other people as I mean, I see them as individual conscious agents, you know, but they're part of the collective consciousness of humanity, of life. All life is related. It's all the same thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It came from the same single-celled organisms.
Yeah.
It's just continuing. DNA isn't like it's a code that never dies. It just passes on through all life, and it just spreads out.
Yeah.
And we are just the result of that DNA. So we're all the same thing. And I don't. So when I see a starving child, it breaks my heart because like that's
Agreed.
That child is starving in every
humanity.
language.
We should all feel that.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know.
Yeah, that's a beautiful perspective to have, and that's one thing I kind of like about the internet. As much as like it maybe does create some shitty traits in people where we're not always here in the moment and shit like that, I think it does bring us together because like I mean sure like you know there's cultures are different everywhere you go and language is different everywhere you go, but if you translate all the fucking game facts or Reddit threads, you know, in the world to one language, they're all just memeing bullshit. Like we're all you know what I'm saying? We're all just trolling each other anyways.
Well, I think a lot of people get hung up on things online too, like conspiracy theory stuff, because in some ways that's an escape from the big picture, from the real problems.
Right.
It's a distraction. And I think that's part of that lack of self-awareness, lack of introspection, because if you can get caught up in an idea or an ideology or some bullshit conspiracy theory or something, it makes you feel more important maybe. It makes you feel a part of something, and also it's a distraction from the real problems. You don't have to worry about solving these real problems that we have. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, 'cause you're not contributing to a solution. You're just wasting time.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think what I try to see in that as well is like, everybody's trying to be distracted right now.
Right.
Everybody in every country who has access to the internet is trying to be just as distracted about their situation as you are.
Yep.
And in that way, we're all the fucking same.
Right. Yeah. But
that caravan wants to come up here and fucking meme cats too. You know what I mean? They're not that different.
But I'm a problem solver, so I have to think about, and you are too. So I constantly think about how do you solve problems, and that to me,
that's a big one to tackle, bro.
Oh yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of people. Fortunately, I see a lot of people thinking about it, and it makes a lot of people that are in positions where they can actually make a difference. Which, you know, that's one of my goals in life is to be in a position where I can make a difference, right?
Yeah.
But I'm really happy to see scientists and some people that have big voices talking about these issues, and those are people that can really make a difference.
Yeah.
You know, I heard a scientist the other day talking about how it's so crazy that humans get caught up on these arbitrary things like race and religion and, you know, why does your skin color make you different? You know, or what country you're from, or what language you speak. It doesn't. None of that matters. It's all superficial nonsense.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's been superficial.
It's tribalism. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's human tribalism.
And what's crazy, like that's been superficial for a while now.
Forever.
Oh, yeah.
It's always been superficial.
Yeah, like it's like because like one of the arguments that I heard before is like, or about like racism in history is just like, well, I mean, people just thought about each other differently back then, you know. But it's like not really, because there's been philosophers that have talked about.
Well, Plato said, he said, ignorance. What is the quote? It's ignorance, the root and stem of all evil.
Yeah.
And he also had a quote that said,
look at my abs and compare to yours.
He also had another quote that said, what is it? It's the city is what it is because its people are what they are.
Oh, I like that.
Feel you.
And that was 2,400 years ago.
Exactly. But there's another.
But he was. Well, that was sort of an Enlightenment period. So at least in the Western civilization.
You sure he wasn't smoking weed? That sounds very.
But you got. I'm writing a bit about this, but it's funny because, a few hundred years after that, Rome, the whole Western civilization fell, went into the Middle Ages, went into the Dark Ages, and then people are shitting in the streets. They don't have plumbing anymore. They actually had lawsuits against animals. Like
gotcha.
they would actually have court hearings because an animal committed a crime.
Word.
And then they would take pigs or whatever animal and dress it in human clothing, put a wig and a mask on it, and execute it.
Damn.
I mean, it's just insane, man.
That shit is real.
Yeah.
No, yeah, there was another one. I'm not big on philosophy or anything, but I dabble. I read some like Stoicism. In Seneca, it was a big Stoic philosopher. He had big discourses about how you treated slaves, about not treating them like animals, like degenerates, like they're human beings. Let's not pretend that they're not
people.
what they are.
Yeah.
And they had that mentality before Christ. This was BC. This was before Christ was born. So I think a lot of this idea that it comes from society.
Slavery still exists.
It's 100%.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, we let it exist because of the society that we live in. It was the same.
In some ways, it still exists in this country.
Yeah.
You have more black people in prison today, more black men in prison today than there were slaves during the time of slavery.
Damn.
And most of those are just drug-related nothing.
Yeah. Or marijuana, which is even worse.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably another reason why they don't want to legalize it.
Why do we have ghettos in this country?
Yeah.
There's no reason.
Yeah.
I think when they legalize it, they need to. There's a whole lot of people that need to be.
That would need to come out of jail.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
They're trying to figure that one out.
Well, the drug laws were based on the anti-war movement and the civil rights movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they were created
Didn't
for, to attack
one of
those
the
people.
states recently just clear a whole bunch of charges?
It was actually
It was a
something like
city.
that?
It was Oregon,
Yeah.
but it was Portland that decriminalized all drugs.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I've been hearing rumblings of some different areas where they're talking about going through any nonviolent and all that's just marijuana, and I don't know how accurate this number is, but it was like 4 million people like that had nonviolent and marijuana related. They were either actively in prison and or on probation currently from just marijuana related.
I know California's doing a lot of that, but I think one of the problems out there is that I don't think they're expunging their records though.
Right.
And so you've got these people that have been in prison and now they let them out, but they're felons.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? That's why there's tent
Yeah.
villages in California. There's 80,000+ homeless people in L.A.
Nylon houses, yeah.
All of our, I'd say almost every one of our companies. If I see, if there's nothing else, but all I see is marijuana, I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Matter of fact,
I don't care what people do at all, as long as it's not affecting their
work,
or their anything else. As long as I don't know about it,
yeah,
it doesn't matter to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you should show up to work high, but at the same
that's a
point,
problem.
What you do after hours, I would much rather you smoke weed at night than you're hitting the bottle every night and you're knocking down a.
Yeah, because even in those situations, like if you fire that dude that chose to work high, you're firing him from being irresponsible. That doesn't have anything to do with the weed.
No.
He's just irresponsible.
Right.
Yeah, like don't show up to work high. Like now, and there's different levels of this.
Because otherwise, you don't know.
Yeah.
Now,
are you showing up and you're fucking blitzed, or are you? And now this is that part where using good judgment, but you've got low back pain. You're in a physically tedious job, and you have some level of pain management in your system. That's a whole different thing than showing up high.
As long as
anybody that actually
it doesn't affect your
it doesn't affect your.
productivity.
Are you driving a car, a truck, a vehicle? Or are you driving a big rig, or are you doing a physically tedious? Like, do you now? UPS is not going to appreciate this, but when I was 17, I unloaded trucks at UPS 10 o'clock at night to 4 o'clock in the morning. I believe it was called twilight shift at that point, but that was a physically tedious job, very injury prone, etc. Yeah. So like if I'm taking a package and literally, lifting it from above my head or about eye level, and I'm putting it onto a caster wheel set that rolls into a sort where they sort it based on where it's going. That job, I'm if you wanted to smoke weed occasionally to deal with payment, like I don't see you. You're not out operating heavy machinery. You're not on the road like. I'd say that's pretty status. It's pretty status quo, right? And a lot of drugs, like in other countries, like they would use they would chew on the coca leaves while they were working.
Heard about that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like caffeine. So like to me, I kind of
like
equate
Southeast Asia, they chew on kratom leaves and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's kind of like for me, it'd be like telling Americans that they can't have coffee in the morning to get their day started, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I think we need to start doing lines of cocaine. Right before we get going,
but caffeine will kill you too.
Caffeine will do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You drink 10 cups of coffee, you might die.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've got like this weird. I've got people I've known for a long time that smoke every day. Right, like not every day at night. I'm talking about they smoke every day.
Let adults be adults.
Yeah, and I agree. And guess what? They're fully functioning, You would never know it.
Teach responsibility.
I agree, and I don't.
Freedom is responsibility.
Yeah.
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 Like I said, I think we get caught up on like the argument, at least when it comes to like legalizing drugs. I think we're all really in the same agreement that like what we're really asking for is just moderation.
100%.
Just do this shit responsibly.
Yeah, do it and education, moderation, like, and then we got one that in this building we have and other buildings we have 3 or 4 people that were in really, really bad motorcycle accidents that they actually lived through. Yeah. Believe it or not, but one of them, like, you know, he takes no pain medicine. Like this.
So just to be clear, we don't promote motorcycle riding or taking drugs.
This is true. We're not promoting any of the above. But if you are going to use marijuana, do it responsibly.
Or ride motorcycles.
Moderation, yeah. Don't do both. But anyway,
don't get hit by cars.
Yeah. The real problem here is fucking cars. Like that's the real. Yeah. But this person's like, if you look at his body and he shows you, like, you know, from his arm, his back, his leg, like this dude, you would think if he told you he was on a pain regimen, a severe pain regimen of pills daily, you wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah.
He takes 0 pills. He uses marijuana, right, as needed for pain management. This is not a guy that's like sitting, getting high and giggling and laughing.
This is a really productive dude.
This is one of the hardest working guys I know. Like, just like a machine, right? And loyal and trustworthy and hardworking, will take the shirt right off his back and give it to you, right? Like, and if I didn't tell you, you would never know. Smokes every day, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's so when I lost my leg, before when I got hit, when I had the accident that night, the accident was about 8:30. They finally got me in surgery around 10:30, 11. And I woke up at like 3 in the morning, and they had actually put my leg back together, and it looked decent. I was like, "Whoa!" I expected it to be gone because it looked horrible, but it was, you know, put back together. It was in a traction device, and I could even still move my toes, like back.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, "Don't get excited. It's not as good as it looks," you know. And then
how nice of her.
Yeah, she's good at bringing me down, or like grounding me.
Grounding you. There you go.
Down. She brings me down.
She holds me down. You know
But so the surgeon that did that surgery, like, man, I didn't want you to wake up without a leg, and they might be able to save it. I want you to talk to the other surgeon. So the other surgeon came in, and she told me that she said they could probably save the leg, but it would be at least 2 years of reconstructive surgeries. And I would be in a brace for the rest of my life, and I'd be on pain medication the rest of my life. And she's like, you know, I can give you, 3 or 4 hours to think about it, but we have to make a decision pretty quick. And she said, if it was me, prosthetic technology is really good. I'd probably lean towards amputation. But, you make that decision because it's a big decision. And I was like, I don't need to think about it. If that's, I asked her, I was like, are there any new technologies close or anything that could make a difference? She said, not in your situation, not anytime soon. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have to think about it. Just go ahead and do it. I can't go through 2 years of surgeries, and I definitely can't be on pain medication the rest of my life because I need to be clear.
Yeah.
I have a lot of responsibilities, businesses to run, stuff like that. So I was like, just go ahead and amputate it. And they just took me right back and did it. But I don't know where we're going with that, but well, no. What your point was is so I deal with pain, but I don't have. I don't want to. In some ways, I like the pain because it.
God damn, you don't play around.
Well, I don't like it, but I don't want to take it away either. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do anything to cloud my mind or to make me avoid reality, because I feel like dealing with the pain, dealing with anxiety, all that stuff makes you better. It pushes you, it drives you.
Oh, yeah.
And you can either let those things pull you down and make you depressed, and I've dealt with depression before, but I can usually just get out of it, just kind of think about the moment and then push forward. But for me, stress and anxiety and even the pain I get from my leg, and I have some back issues, I've had some stem cell procedures, but those things actually I use them as tools to push me, to motivate me.
Hell yeah.
And I think especially today, a lot of people that have anxiety issues and stuff like that and depression, they should sort of embrace that anxiety and let it motivate them.
Yeah. Yo, you should actually check out Stoicism because you're.
I'm familiar with it.
Okay, yeah, because
we
you're
actually
a
have an
Stoic right now
episode
without
on
even trying. It seems like. Yeah.
I'm probably a little more of Epicurean, but
I get you.
I'm very optimistic.
Okay, that's good.
But I'm both.
Yeah, Stoicism can be a little bit depressing, especially when it comes to like suicide. A little bit. You can find some reasons that are like, just do it.
A lot of Russians are stoic.
Yeah. No, but yeah, that's a beautiful perspective to have. You're essentially like the obstacle is the way.
Right.
I can't remember his name, but he wrote the book called exactly that, and he's a big stoic. You're just like a challenge was presented to you, and you grew from it, which is such a beautiful thing, and it's one thing that I strive.
Well, you do it too. You're doing it, man. Like
I
see your comedy, and it's really funny. It's great, and it's also it's great to see you doing that when a lot of people in your situation wouldn't be doing that. They'd be at home, they'd be really depressed, and they would be just trying to deal with their circumstances, and they would be in probably a deep depression. But you are still doing what you love to do, man, and it's awesome. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, no, I was there. I was exactly there. Dude, the fact that I'm able to go on stage and talk about it, it scratches that itch that I brought up before, where you just want to tell people like, yo, I'm fucking dying.
Yeah.
And I can't speak to anybody, but I have a feeling that a lot of people that go through this, not just terminal cancer patients, God forbid. Like, I mean, I'm 27. What the fuck do I know? But like if you're lucky, you'll go out quick. You won't see it coming. But if you're really lucky, you'll have time to deal with shit and say goodbye and allow people to deal with the fact that you're gone.
It's good perspective.
And like if you ever get into that situation, which I hope nobody listens to this, none of you ever get into a situation where you know your time is coming. You're probably gonna have that feeling where you just want to scream. You just want to tell people like, I'm fucking dying. I get to have that fucking avenue of comedy to scratch that itch that I'm so grateful for.
It's great.
And it's why I still do it, because I don't I do it selfishly. I talk about cancer selfishly because it's therapy to me. You know what I mean? This is how I deal with it. When I was hiding it, when I was just in the room, you're just alone. And unfortunately, people in that situation, they just die like that.
Yeah.
And it sucks. So I'm so grateful that I get to go on stage and talk about this shit.
Yeah.
And if I can make you laugh by doing it, that's, again, what more can I ask for from life?
Yeah.
Really.
And, also, I think I talked to you about this recently too. And I guess it's probably just in our DNA and our biology, but we live our lives like we're going to live forever.
Yeah.
And we don't. Life is so short. Even if you live a long life, it's just. The longest life I think is like 120 years so far. So even if you live 100 years, that's still really short in the scheme of time.
Yeah.
And then we talked about earlier, time may not even be real. Maybe everything's happening all at once. We just perceive it in a linear fashion.
Exactly.
And I'm not even sure that I believe death is a real thing. I think that we may be some type of a collective consciousness. I have an idea or an intuition that really what we are is we're like the conscious ants of reality. Like we're just a part of nature, and we're nature waking up and becoming aware of itself.
Yeah.
That's why we're so fascinated with technology, and even like if you have a shiny rock and you've polished it and it's really pretty, like why are you so infatuated with that rock? Well, maybe it's because it's nature looking back at itself.
It's fucking deep.
So
Goddamn.
Goddamn, I'm gonna need another.
I don't know if the gummy just kicked in.
I know. I'm gonna need another edible. I'm not there yet.
I have this. I have an intuition that we're all one life form.
Yeah.
That all life is one life form, and there is no death, and maybe time's not even real. Even if time is real, it's still a very strange thing.
Yeah.
Because if you travel the speed that you're traveling, it determines your perception of time, or actually your your not only your perception of time, but time is relative. So if you're traveling at a high rate of speed, like if you had a spaceship and you could travel away from the planet or just travel in space at a continuous G, you would eventually, I think the science says you would reach close to light speed within a few years, like 2 or 3 years. And if you could travel that speed, your time would slow down.
Yeah.
Like your perception of time would slow down. So like if you traveled at a continuous G for like 6 years, 12 years of time would pass on Earth, but only 6 years would pass with you.
That's fucking
like
nuts.
And it's exponential.
Yeah.
So like the next 6 years might be like 100 years on Earth or something, or 80 years, and then it keeps going. So within like 30 or 40 years, it might be like millions of years.
Yeah.
So time's a weird thing, and it's
And it's something we have in mind, like day to day, something we put so much value on. But when you look at it like that, like it ain't shit.
Time isn't the clock.
Yeah.
It's something else. It's like the fabric of reality.
Yeah. It's like a social construct we all agree to believe in, but
right. Yeah. Well, trying to understand it's very difficult.
Yeah.
So it's related to gravity and speed and all that kind of stuff. So
and correct me if I'm wrong, we still don't even know how gravity works.
We don't.
That's fucking nuts.
We don't really know how anything works. We know like one trillionth of a percent of what reality is.
Yeah.
Like sense. I went down a rabbit hole the other night and I was thinking like, okay, when you get into quantum particles like quarks and gluons and all this shit that's just unimaginably small, right?
Yeah.
These are the things that make up.
Is this the thing you showed me?
Atoms and electrons. I don't think so.
That creature.
No, that's interesting too. But
yeah.
This is way smaller than that. But then you get down to just think about an electron. An electron is not like a grain of sand that's microscopic. It's not even a physical particle. It's energy. It's just a piece of energy that's charged in a certain way. And it's a part of a wave function or something, right? But then what is that made out of? What is the energy made out of? There's no answer for that.
Yeah.
I think the smallest particle in reality is called a Planck. And it's like, it's almost like a pixel of reality. But what's that made out of?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
It
sounds like it's deep as fuck, even though
it almost seems like reality's not even real. Like time and space may not even be real. It may all just be just data, information.
Yeah.
Just like a simulation, but something way more complex than what we think of as a simulation. It's like our perception of space and time may just be an illusion.
Yeah.
It's just the way we perceive it. So who knows what it is?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's much more beautiful and incredible than what we can even perceive, and it's multidimensional, and I don't know that I even believe that death is a real thing.
I get you.
I feel like it's something we can't comprehend yet.
I got you. Yeah.
But
I mean, it's very real. But I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's real. Yeah, for sure. Our experiences are real, and that's what matters. But as far as what reality really is, nobody knows. Yeah. Even the greatest physicists on the planet, they don't know.
And that's such a great use of the technology that you have at hand. That you have that amount of knowledge, that you're curious enough to seek it out and to keep it in mind in a day-to-day. You're a good example of like the good that can come from the technology and the privilege that we have in today's society. And that's a great perspective to have, to keep you grounded, really grounded.
Yeah.
On a nuclear fucking level, on a molecular level, you're fucking grounded right now.
Yeah. So, but you have to enjoy the moments, right?
Yeah.
Because if you think it's weird when I think about my life, because I've had a good life. I mean, I was a poor kid, had some struggles, but I still have a lot of happy memories, and I still am very appreciative of the life that I've had. And even good and bad.
Yeah.
But it's weird how little we remember of our life too. And every moment is gone.
Yeah.
Like the only thing that exists to us is the moment. and it's instantly gone.
Yeah.
So it's I don't know, man. I just feel like there's a whole lot more to it than we can comprehend.
Yeah. I can't remember who said it, but it was a quote like, we all think that death is this upcoming event in the future, but in reality, death is in the past and all the moments that you've lived.
Maybe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think
even our bodies change. Like like the body we have today is not the body we had 10 years ago.
Yeah. Like everything. Yeah.
Everything is all different.
It's all different.
It's a totally different body.
Yeah.
And what's consciousness? Nobody knows what consciousness is.
It's kind of funny. They've been toying with these ideas forever. Like even like you look in like older books and stuff, like in Faust, they talk about like how the angels don't even really know who God is or how he just got here anyway. It's pretty interesting.
No, yeah. Even I think one thing I think it was Marcus Aurelius who said, "Look at 1,000 years in the past and 1,000 years in the future. Nothing has changed. We're all the same." And that's saying like we all have the same insecurities. You know what I mean? People were struggling with the same shit during the Roman Empire that we are now. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the oldest document that's ever been found was an ancient Sumerian document where a guy was. I know the oldest document's Sumerian. And I believe that one was a guy asking for a refund for a coffin.
That's hilarious.
It may have been an Egyptian document.
That's hilarious.
But it was either an ancient Egyptian document.
The earliest document of humankind is somebody complaining.
Yeah, he wanted a refund for a coffin.
No, that's right. That sounds
about right.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So, they were the same. They were the same thing, just way more ignorant. Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to by reading those couple of philosophy books all the the Stoics definitely make or ask you to present the question to yourself of like, oh, what you could die, like really face that shit. So I was lucky that before the cancer diagnosis, I had some idea of that. I had done the self speculation of like, okay, where am I in life? Because this could go at any minute. So it's definitely something that everybody at some point should time to time like really think about the fact that you could die, and I might just be saying that because I'm the one dying, but it's hard to I don't know, it's hard to picture who I was before the diagnosis because it's not a night and day difference because you're not in my head. I don't know if that makes sense.
Your perception is different now.
100%.
Yeah. Your perspective is way different.
It's insane how don't get like I'm still working, because I have to. I don't want to be a burden on anybody else. I don't want to be. I know that I work at a call center, and I know that when I'm hearing to this dude complain because his Uber account is not activated, I'm like, I'm dying. I got to deal with this. That's not far from me. But I don't do it for the money. I just do it because I don't want to be a burden. But money is. I
tell you, man, that's a good collection tactic, though.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, you need to pay a bill, dude. I got all this stuff. Man, I've got cancer.
How much to end this conversation? 100%. But it's like money is like not that it doesn't have value to me. It could help, but it's not a drive to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't drive me like it did before cancer. It wasn't like I got to work. I got to get that overtime.
It's not about money.
No, dude. It's like, and it's not. I'm not virtue signaling. I'm not balling. I'm an illegal immigrant. How rich can I fucking be? But like, I lost my wallet the other day, and I was just like, all right, fuck it. I'll just order the cards back and ask for a new ID or whatever. There was $250 in there. I just whatever.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not balling like that. That's a lot of money, of course. But also, it's just like that money has been in there for a while. Exactly because what the fuck am I going to use it on? I'm dying.
It's replaceable.
It's just paper that I gave value to before that, and it's a powerful perspective to have, and one that I would recommend people really look into. Because the sad thing is, again, how deep can I be? I'm 27 years old. I don't want to come across as like I know how shit is.
No, man,
But I don't. At least before you
know a lot about you have a stronger perspective on life and reality than most people do.
Maybe
because it was what you're facing.
Yeah, at least before I had the diagnosis, I would entertain, or I guess didn't want to admit to myself that I had that same belief that I know I'm going to die at some point. That's in the future, and I'm sure by then I'll be able to handle it. I'll be old enough to accept it.
Yeah.
Look, I mean. I've been in a lot of cancer centers. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of them elderly, and I can tell you, they're fighting to live just as hard as I am. they don't want to die just because they look old. You know what I mean? I remember seeing cancer patients like that. I was like, yo, you're on your way out. What are you fighting for? That's because they love to live. You don't stop loving to live.
Yeah.
Okay? There's one documentary on Netflix called Endgame where it actually talks and with people who have terminal cancer who die. They all die at the end of the documentary, like when they passed. They're all terminal cancer patients. A lot of them are elderly. And, you know, I can't put it better than, like, I think she's like 60 or 70-year-old lady who's talking to her doctor, and he's trying to get her to accept death. And she's like, I can't do it. I love to live.
Yeah.
And that's just, you know, I would hate anybody, if I had any knowledge to give, I would say that don't think that it's going to be easy just because it's in the future. That's just an illusion. It's
That's
not,
true,
you're going to have to face it. And it's going to be scary every time. You know what I mean? That's why if you're lucky, it'll go quick. You won't have to.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's more benefits if you have time and you can deal with it. You can just...
And if you're healthy, don't waste it.
Oh, huge.
You know what I mean? Like if there's something you want to do in life, then
100%.
fucking do it. Don't waste time.
One of my dumb cliche questions now...
I agree with that.
Yeah.
When I meet people, it's like, what do you want to do before you die and why haven't you done it?
Right.
Like,
I
what's
like
the
that.
excuse?
Like why are you not doing it? Yeah.
So that's a big part of the 100 pounds I've lost. Like, you know, it was one of my best friend's brothers passed away, and there was all these things going on. I had all these excuses and all this other shit going on, and anyway, it was a huge eye opener for me. We're coming up on a year actually since that happened, and I was just like, you know, he's younger than I am. He was in.
How old was Luke? 32?
Yeah, I believe so. And then
30.
And
32. I think.
didn't have he wasn't as
No, he was 30,
he was
I think,
big,
yeah.
but he wasn't as big as I am by far. Like, I mean, like there was all these things, and I'm like, it was like, wait a second, and it was just like a new appreciation for life, a reality of, and I always think every day I would go, man, I could get up, like I could die in a car crash, I could die in an airplane, I could die jumping out of the airplane, I could die doing dumb shit. You know, like literally, like I'm all the above. Like I'm a firm believer, and I'm well aware of the risk, right?
Yeah.
But I was living my life like, without regard. So, you know, like I've lost 100 pounds, as you can see. I still have quite a bit way to go. That tells you how big I was,
That's
right?
a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
I know that because I know what a 100-pound dumbbell is.
Yeah.
Like even if you lost 70 pounds, like the people listening, like pick up a 70-pound weight. Motherfucker lost that. That's a big deal.
So I've got more to go, but that's kind of the what's happened to me is there's a lot of things that I can't control. I can control what I put in my mouth. I can't control the effort I give in the gym. I can't control. So all these things that I can, these variables I can't control, I better be doing those because, you know, at some point things beyond my control will happen, right?
Yeah.
But I can control all these things, you know?
Hell yeah.
And I guess one thing we can say about Luke is that number one, he's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a really good dude. He would do anything for anybody. And he was a brilliant musician. Like, I mean, just insane, like a musical genius on a guitar. And had a real successful business. Really loved life, enjoyed his life. So, I mean, he it was tragic. But as far as his life, like, I don't think he would have changed anything.
Yeah.
I think he was doing it right.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
And that's a strong ass perspective to have. Like to actually be able to like objectively see what you can and can't control.
Yeah.
That's a fucking lesson. It took me hard. That phrasing took me a hard time to really comprehend.
Yeah.
So props to that.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's I live like there's no tomorrow in one sense, but I live like there is a tomorrow in one sense. Like literally, I've got like this yin and yang thing going on. Like, hey, it could be over tomorrow, but just in case it's not, I'm going to take care of my fucking body.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, like just in case. Like, and I'm the guy. Like,
you have to enjoy the moment.
You got to, man. I'm all about that.
But you have to prepare for the next moment too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So and I hope I get a lot of them. But the reality is, you know, man, I'm making home tonight.
Yeah, and living
live
like
a good day.
Had a good run though.
Yeah, I'm having a fucking awesome run.
Yeah, and you can totally have that without like the Hollywood rendition of like, oh, bucket list, you got to go out and party.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's like to me the biggest thing, and one of the things that I still struggle with is I don't want to die scared.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. One of the quotes that always haunted me from Epictetus. He's like, we all must die, but we don't have to die bawling.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like really accepting the fact that you're going to die and not be scared. That shit was so hard for the longest time during all the treatments.
Yeah.
I felt like such a failure, like I knew this was true going in, but I was terrified.
Yeah.
And
I can't imagine, man.
And really, like, what helped me was like living like you're going to die isn't going out and like doing drugs, doing heroin.
No.
That's not it at all. You can do that and realize how wrong you are.
That's avoiding.
Yeah, that's
basically.
avoiding.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Like, well, at least to me, what it was like to me, living like I was going to die because I probably am is just not being scared. That's how I can live
and enjoying your life, right?
Yeah, because that's the only way you can enjoy life is just like let go of that fear.
Yeah,
appreciate your life.
Yeah.
And I do dumb shit. Like, and I don't mean dumb. Let me give you some context. We were in Colorado working. Now I'm a grown ass fucking man, right? And most of the gentlemen with me, with the exception of one, all of them were younger than me. I think the youngest one with us was early 20s, right? And we drove over the Colorado River. Now it's cold as fuck in Colorado currently, and the Colorado River has a current to it, right? And it's and it's night, by the way. I should say this. I think it was like 11 or 12 o'clock at night. We had put in a 15, 16-hour day already. And I was like, you guys want to get in the river?
Hell yeah.
Right? So
no.
Yeah. So we literally, no swimming trunks, no shit. No, I mean, literally, we pull over, right? We get out of the car, and some of them did, some of them didn't. And I'm in my boxers, and I'm in the Colorado River swimming.
Hell yeah.
Right? At dark with nothing but the stars in the sky to light the way.
It was awesome. Yeah.
It was an awesome moment, right?
If I still had a real leg, I'd have been in there with you.
Yeah. And I mean, and it wasn't that big of a deal, but it was. Like, for me, like, that's like me trying to, like, if I see something like the 13-year-old me wants to do it, like, I'm going to do it, right? On some level, like, that's the mentality I'm trying to keep, you know?
That's fucking beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're not the only one that has those thoughts. You're not the only one that sees a Colorado River and was like, let's jump in.
Yeah.
But you're the only motherfucker that said it.
Yeah.
That's fucking huge, dude.
So
that's something a lot of people wish they could do.
Yeah. So that's what I try to do.
Yeah.
I really do. So, and I'm looking forward to, as I continue to lose weight and get in better shape, there's some other epic shit I want to do that, it's on my list. Not a bucket list, just period. I want to do it, you know?
Yeah. There's so many things I want to do that life's not long enough to do them.
Yeah.
Really.
I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. I just know that I can't. But I'll do as many as I can.
Yeah.
I feel you. I'm trying to, I don't give a fuck how I refuse to die before seeing Japan.
Yeah, get to Japan.
I can't legally leave the country yet. Hopefully, I can get something sometime soon.
What isn't there? So, and not to get political, right? That's.
I mean, you can. I don't care. You're not gonna.
Well, that's a rabbit hole. But at the same point, I will say, I would think under the new administration that this problem may go away sooner.
I mean, that's what I hope. But I've been.
What's the solution right now?
I mean,
since you went to school, I mean, isn't there some kind of a fast track for people that have grown up here and went to?
No,
are you called was your situation? Is it called like a dream? What is it called? In there, what's the class of people that were brought here as a 1, 2, 3, 4 year like a child?
Yeah,
and they've only known America. What is that? Isn't there a term, or do you know what that is?
Yeah, dreamer.
Okay,
dreamer.
So it is.
Called Dreamers, Dr. Kids. It started in California. The Dreamer movement started out there, where they were asking California for rights because hey, we're undocumented kids. We came here when we were young. We didn't have a choice.
Right.
And that sort of overtook or it
But there's a fast
title.
track program for people in your situation, though, right?
Sort of. I mean, that's sort of what DACA is, which is what I got. Deferred action for childhood arrivals.
Okay.
Is what Obama gave us. It just allowed us to legally work in America. That's pretty much what it did.
It's like a permanent green card.
Not permanent. We had to renew it every 2 years. You had to not have a criminal record, and you had to either be actively going to college or working.
How do you turn it into a citizenship?
You don't. So there's no pathway.
That's the problem.
Yeah, there's no pathway?
That's the big thing that both sides agree on. There should be a pathway. They just can't agree on the pathway. That's sort of like the
I have a friend that was in the same situation. I grew up with him, and they sent him his paperwork for the DACA thing. I didn't know what it's called, but he didn't fill it out, and he got deported.
Damn.
But he was.
I get it. And that's scary, bro. That's some smallpox blanket type shit. I get the fear.
He was not really heading in a good direction at the time, so it was kind of a good thing for him.
Yeah.
Now he's married. He has at least one kid, maybe multiple kids. He's an English teacher in Mexico. He's doing really well.
Good.
And I think it took that to get his shit together, but.
Yeah.
But it was still fucked up though. Like,
Yeah.
he's an American dude. Like he grew up with all of us.
Oh yeah, he
And
got deported to a
he'd been here
foreign
since he was
land.
like 2 or 3.
100%. I can speak with him when I say you got deported to a foreign
Yeah,
land.
like
Yeah.
he's not from there.
Yeah. And I mean, damn, I just lost my train of thought. My bad.
It was my fault, man.
No, you.
Well, we were talking about how you can get a citizenship in your situation.
Oh yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's the hopes with the new
Well,
administration.
hopefully that gets solved soon.
Yeah.
Like, there's some stuff, and listen, there's things about Trump that I didn't like. Obviously, I'm not going to bore you with this long ass list. There's a long ass list of things about Trump I didn't like. There are policies that I supported, right?
Yeah.
But just like with Biden, there's going to be things that I support, right? And there will be things that I don't like about him. But one of the things I hope that comes of it is I feel like this immigration thing should not be as complicated as it is.
Yeah.
I feel like people that are already here, like you that came as a child, that this is home. This is fucking home. Like, you're here. You've been here fucking 24 years. You're not going anywhere, right? Americans need to get out of the fact that they're going to take somebody who's been here. Like, this is the only land they've ever known. They're going to send them somewhere else. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like some of these things I would think, would start getting solved.
Maybe, but guys like Joe Biden are just career politicians. He's,
Well, I'm not
he's part of
saying-
the problem.
I
He's
don't know
an
if it's-
old
Yeah.
politician.
I don't know if Biden's going to solve it necessarily. I'm saying just the totality of
Yeah.
of who's in control, of which parties are in control. Like,
I think when our generation gets in power,
yeah,
I don't even like the word power, but gets into when our generation of people
I don't know how you
get
got
into
somebody
politics,
that's basically 80 running the country. I'm just going to.
it's insane.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
And Kamala Harris is responsible for a lot of the people that are in prison for drug issues.
Yeah. No, there's no clean hands in
No, but-
administration.
Yeah,
Obama deported
we
more
need-
illegal immigrants than any president beforehand.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if Donald
See, I
Donald
was a
Trump may
big-
have
I was
overtaken
a-
him. I'm not sure.
I was a big supporter of Tulsi Gabbard. Really like her, and also Andrew Yang.
I like
Word.
Yang. Only because Yang Gang, I don't know, man.
He's an entrepreneur,
I
too,
liked him a
yeah.
lot, business person, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that side of it. Like, obviously, we're business people, so, like,
Yeah.
I like that.
He's a little wishy-washy on some of his policies, but
He's young.
I like some of his ideas. At least he has ideas.
Yeah.
and he's transparent with his ideas.
Yeah. I was a fan of Elizabeth Warren. I liked her.
I can't stand Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, I like the cut of her jib.
You like the what?
The cut of her jib. I just like that she could
At
go
least,
toe to toe.
at least
with
she
people.
stopped telling people she was Native American.
I am happy about that, yeah.
I liked her too, just for
Yeah,
the record.
yeah. You know why I didn't
she's
like her?
still a scummy politician like the rest
I
of them.
didn't like
man.
her because she reminded me of my 8th grade teacher. Should I say
I can
the
see
name?
that.
All those old politicians are fake.
Miss
man.
Miss
Yeah.
Cranford.
I can see that.
I shouldn't say
She does look kind of like a teacher.
Miss Cranford, I didn't hate
I liked
you.
my teachers.
Yeah,
but-
I didn't hate you, Miss Cranford, but you reminded me of Elizabeth Warren, or she reminded me of you. That's why I didn't like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you. And I mean, yeah, hopefully, something gets worked out. Not just for the sake of me, for the sake of
I mean, now, didn't Elizabeth Warren get like scholarships she shouldn't have gotten and all this other stuff?
Yeah, because she said she was Native American.
Yeah, so I mean, I kind of have a little bit of a problem with that.
I
but
mean,
yeah.
I get it. She was born before the internet. You know,
Yeah.
I was told that I was Native American too, or
I'm
had
so-
Native American. There was
I'm so used to white people
Nothing.
being like, I'm a quarter Cherokee. I didn't even pay any mind. I was like, that's par for the course.
I'm no Cherokee, man. Like,
well,
I'm-
you're Hispanic, so clearly you have Native American.
Yeah, that was like a internet question that blew my mind. Like, an argument like why aren't Mexicans Native Americans? I'm like,
That's a good
huh.
question.
That's a
Well,
good
they
point.
are.
Because you are
technically.
Native American,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, technically, you are. Yeah.
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 I don't know. This whole thing is so fucked. Anyway, hopefully a new administration, and it's.
I mean, even if not, I'll figure out a way to get to Japan.
Yeah. Oh, you can go. You can go.
Yeah.
Where
I
would-
can't come back.
Where's
I can-
Japan going to send you? That's the question.
That's a good point.
Think about it.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they might like you. Japan has an issue with.
Bro, are you kidding me? Fucking Mexican Godzilla out there? Hell
Well,
yeah.
so Japan has a problem though with their civilization is too old. Like they're actually
They're not fucking.
yeah they
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
they don't have their
So you need.
their
Hey, we
median-
solved the problem. If you go to Japan, you'll be fucking all these Japanese girls, man.
their
Two birds with
median
stone.
age is
Yeah.
too high, so
Yeah.
their population is dying.
And I think I can't remember Kurtz Platt something. It's a YouTube channel that does a lot of they do the science videos with the birds. I don't know if you're familiar. It's like some German science.
Oh, Kurzgesagt.
Yes, they did a
Yeah.
thing of overpopulation.
In a nutshell.
Yeah. Where it
Love
was,
that channel. Yeah.
Where it was essentially saying that like when all throughout history civilizations that have started to prosper have eventually stopped fucking and having kids.
Well, if you look at the statistics, the data, as a society becomes more technologically advanced, they stop having as many children.
It's happening in America slowly right now.
Yeah, every. That's why people were so worried about population growth. I just watched a thing with Elon Musk. He was given an award. I think it was some kind of a German award or something, and he brought that up. People are really worried about population growth because there's 8 billion people in the world, which is a lot of people, but it's really not that many people because as society becomes more advanced, people will stop procreating as much.
Yeah.
So the big concern is actually when we reach that pivotal moment, population will probably start to decrease.
Yeah.
And then the concern will be how many, are we going to have enough people to carry on? But I think we'll probably evolve into something else that's got to do with
Hopefully.
technology.
It would be awesome to see us get to that point.
Well, I think that's what we're doing. We're evolving. That's what
there's still world countries
is.
out there. They're fucking enough for everybody.
So Elon made a good he made a good point. He said if you took all the people in the world, they would all fit in New York City on one level.
Yo.
Just side by side, just stacked.
That's insane.
Just, standing, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Nut to butt or whatever.
Nut to butt. Teabag Central.
But, so there's not, and I've heard Ray Kurzweil talk about this too. I think people only take up like 5% of the landmass. Like our civilization only takes up 5% of the landmass. So as we advance technologically, we'll start to spread out more.
Yeah.
And you're starting to see that. COVID actually helped a lot with that because it showed a lot of these big corporations. You don't have to have everything packed in these tight areas, these overly concentrated populaces, because people can work from home just as efficiently.
Yeah.
Through Zoom or these different conferencing.
Oh, yeah. I think it was Andrew Schultz was like, no, offices are bullshit.
Yeah.
COVID offices are bullshit. We don't need that.
Yeah. Like you're working in a call center. You don't have to work in a call center. You can do that from home.
Yeah. Our company, like, they're 100% contemplating like not even opening another like an office in New York.
It's a waste of money.
Like, we're saving so much money.
Yeah, it's a waste of money.
Yeah, it's such a waste of money. There was no need for us to be in the office.
Yep. Very true.
So the world is so small now.
Yeah.
It's so connected. You don't need offices. And I've got. Do you have a VR headset or anything?
No, I've dabbled with them.
Yeah, I've got an Oculus Quest 2. I had the first one too, and you just got one.
Yeah.
Dude, you can have a meeting in there just as good as you can have a meeting here.
Yeah. We haven't done it yet, but him and I
we're going
a few times we would go to the movies and stuff like pre-COVID, like literally like you just these little things, man. We would go watch a fucking movie and enjoy the fuck out of it. Right?
Yeah.
Like on a Wednesday night, like just like one random night, just like let's go catch a movie, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see if we can both go in and be like in a room in a theater.
I think you can
and watch the same movie at the same time while through the headset and hang out.
Yeah, I know we can. I know there's. I've got.
And if that doesn't fucking work, we'll do it. Goddamn right here, side by side.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, that'll work too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a VR podcast. That'd be cool.
That's a good idea.
Oh, that's
chat.
a good idea.
That's a thing. VR chat.
We should definitely do that.
We should do that.
Good call, man.
Yeah.
That would be a great solution for like the concerts in the pandemic.
Yeah.
There actually are concerts on VR. I was about to watch one day, and then Danielle asked me to do something to the house. I was like, "Really, right now?" I was about to watch this concert, but they have. I've watched some of the concerts in YouTube 360, like 360 VR, and it's really awesome. Because it's very immersive. So it's not as good as being there, really, but it's still pretty awesome. And I can see this technology reaching a level where when we start to merge with it, you can really be there. We could be in this room having this podcast and be at home.
Yeah.
And it would feel this real.
And I think it's definitely a possibility if one of like the trendsetters like Apple did it. Because I think a lot of people were scared of like, we got the smartphone goes in your head.
Yeah.
And, you control everything through your mind. Most people would be scared of that. But if Apple's like, yo, Beyonce just got an iPhone in her head, motherfuckers going to be lining up to get a chip put in their head. So I think it's definitely possible.
Well, also, when people start to do that, their intelligence will increase exponentially.
Hopefully.
So if
they use it, right?
If you don't do that, then you'll get left behind.
Yeah.
You'll be the equivalent of like an ant.
Pretty much.
So, but anyway, Well, thanks for coming on, dude. It's been awesome having
thank
you
you
on.
guys so much. This was so much fun.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I'm definitely a fan now of the podcast. I'm glad you turned me onto it. I'm glad to see that the local comics are on here. I hope you guys keep getting bigger. You definitely deserve it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
We appreciate you, man.
How can people follow you on social media?
All right. So I'm on social media out there. I don't, I'm not too big on it, but if you want to follow my fucking pictures of my keyboard or whatever, I'm on. I'm TU Mexican Hero everywhere. Just TU Mexican Hero on Instagram and Twitter. And I do got a small little humble ass. Oh, even more humble after seeing you guys' setup today. We got a little tiny podcast. I do it with Dehaj and Alex, who I brought up before. Terrible. Look, listen. I'm not even going to pretend that it's not outhouse in a podcast. But we do it from time to time. It's called No Kids in Here, Officer.
Okay.
Dumb name that we thought of coming back from a mic. I don't know why it stuck. And it's cool. We started the podcast around the time of the cancer treatment started. So in the episodes, looking for a premise, it sort of just became like, all right, well they're checking in on me and my cancer. So we only have like 6 or 7 episodes. But we talk about situation going on in the pandemic and the cancer and just bullshit pretty much.
Is it a video podcast or audio?
No, it's just audio now. But it's available everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, whatever.
Awesome. What's the name of it again?
No Kids in Here, Officer.
Awesome. And do you still have a GoFundMe page?
No. We met our goal. People incredibly generous. We turned it off. Met our goal.
Okay.
For now, money wise, I think I have enough saved up to take care of things.
Yeah.
But I know that if I did, people would be incredibly generous.
Right. Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Awesome, man. Well, you guys be sure to follow Rene on social media and follow his podcast. And if you guys enjoyed the episode, be sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye, guys.
Peace. Thank you, guys.